You told me not to trust him. Sorry. Those were his last words.
Yeah. Name of Line Productions. Destiny Lab Collabo. CeeLo's Beat. Let's get 'em.
Some people flee and some people fight. There's some that will stand, defend what is right. There's others who run, cower and hide. Despite all the evidence that's been supplied, there's a war over truth, the greatest divide. There's a line in the sand, now where will you side? There's no reason to fear, with Christ on our side. The wide or the narrow path, time to decide.
They call themselves gods and erected this dark tower, but now the brightest moment shall become the darkest hour. They wanted people to kneel and cower like they got the power, but my God got the power higher than the highest tower. They shall crumble and cower like the Tower of Babel. My God owns a cattle on 1,000 hills. They can rattle and tattle. The Holy Spirit will still overshadow like the day of Pentecost or as in the last battle.
One God, one Christ, God on the flesh, man. Sent from above, second down on the cleanse, man. Trample the serpent, flooded the earth, destroyed and purged all the blood from the Nephilim curse. At the moment, Noah first step foot on the dirt. It began all again toward Babylon's birth. For a time it emerges, even in church, to divert mankind, so we must be alert. There's a struggle deep inside, a spiritual fight, a battle for souls between darkness and light. Deep inside every one of us and all of our lives, sin is grinding like sleight of hand to mesmerize, but we're wise to the plan and schemes that they devise. Nothing's new, recognize it's the same disguise. Sheep are fallen ones wearing new skins and hides. We denied them through Christ, access denied.
Trying to set free all of these captive borders. Read your Bible, that's the captain's orders. Got the mind of Christ, that's the captain's quarters. Now you're safe within the captain's borders. My God's plan sit higher than Spider-Man. Rip the scales off of the Leviathan. You can call the lizard man, the entire Hydra clan. My God will still inspire them. We're a little sharper than the two, and so the proton blast by Iron Man.
You're wrong. There's no version of this not on top.
Now that we've helped people customize and save with Liberty Mutual, we can finally do some beach reading.
This innovative necklace is dominating the 2020 gift market. Jewelry.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs and voices never shared. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words and I might teach you. echoed in the wells of silence, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. In the sign flashed loudly its warning, and the words that it was forming. In the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, been whispered in the sound of silence.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Steve JMO. It is the 14th of December here in the alleged year of 2020, in the interesting year of 2020, we can call it. But yeah, I always like sharing that song. I saw someone in the chat saying they've always liked that song, and it's always drawn interest. I mean, I don't know if I've always liked it, but it's always been interesting to me. People bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. That's interesting. That's very interesting, if you ask me, in my opinion. Interesting words for a song, and it's no wonder it's probably a worldwide hit, with those being the lyrics, you know? Very interesting. But, yeah, we got 30 people in the chat already. That's pretty lit. Only 6-7 minutes in. We got Super Lay Wiser. If you ain't first, you're last, buddy. I'm kidding. True Seeker 69, what's up? And I sent you a link if you want to jump in for free. Nah, it's all good. Trisha Atkinson, Kelly FE, Vividness, VV's Mess, what's up? Joshua Aaron something, what's up? Israel Adams, what's going on? Steve Finneran, what's going on, buddy? We got Cindy Moore. Uh-oh. It looks like we might have a visitor. Maybe not. Hold on. Get a pestering little dog. Wow, all right. Sincere apologies there. Yeah, no audio. I know I had to walk away for a second. The dog went up halfway up the stairs and got scared, so we had to help her back up and then get her back down. You know how that works. She's only 7 months. Little pain in the ass. I know there's no sound. That's what happens when you hit mute. I know. I know. We were scrolling through the chat and then new comments brought it to the bottom. I think we're at Cindy Moore. What's up? Where else? We're Nikolai 841. This here I have no idea how to say, but we're gonna say what's up to you. Tommy Rogers 2.0. What happened to the regular Tommy Rogers? They shut you down? That sucks. You got the truth. Just Sonia. Trishka Atkinson. I may have said that already. Disciple of the Messiah 1. Absolutely. I like that. I like that name. Who we got? IB McFly. What's up, brother? What's going on? What is going on? We're all good now. We're checking out. We're checking in. So yeah. All right. Should be all good now. Should be all good now. All right. We're all just chilling here. Yeah, I hope everyone is well too. All right, let's get out of the chat. Where do we want to start here today? I know people haven't really been keeping up with RFB. I've always been a fan of his page, and his work follows, stuff he puts out. I mean, I'd say a good 85% of it is grade A, top shelf gravy, as what's his name there? The ceiling fan would call it. Oh, they terminated it. That sucks, Tommy. I just saw that before I switched over. Let me just I'll minimize that for a second. Yep. Yeah, I saw that in New York. It's funny, dude. I almost took off to New York City today. I almost did. It was like 8 o'clock. It was probably 7 this morning. I was like, fuck it. I might go to the city today. And I look outside and it's like snowing. I'm like, all right, maybe we'll do that on a different day where it's not snowing. But tomorrow I'm gonna make my way out to Hartford and surrounding areas, get some footage, get some film of some old world buildings, some state houses, some churches, and hopefully I can retrace the tracks I took today, because I did go on a slight little drive through the countryside of Connecticut. Went through I think Worthington, Summers, and that whole area there off to the left. And it was just the most interesting stuff up there. It brought me in a big circle all the way back to Munson, Mass. And I don't know why we haven't recorded down there yet. So we're gonna have to there's gonna be a lot of footage coming in yesterday. And I just pray that we have I pray we can get it all in tomorrow. What we got? RV played a large part waking me up. Yeah, he not waking me up, but making me more aware to what's happening. It's interesting. Very interesting. Dude, Saturday Night Live making fun of COVID? Of course they are. It's all a joke. They're all actors. Yeah, absolutely. I like that statement. Eternally grateful. Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to bring this back up. We're going to make this full screen. And we're just going to run with this. Now, let me just double check the audio. Should be going. Should be good. Courtney, what's going on? We're going back and forth on Facebook. What's up? All right, let me bring this over here. And which one is it? I think it's this one. We're going to play
a very long video. This video is going to be on BitChute. This video is going to be on Richie from Boston TV, and I'm going to try to post this video onto YouTube. But YouTube is not a friendly place for me. Don't believe me? Watch this. In the old days, I would go up here to my little icon in the upper right-hand corner, and I would click on Switch Account, and it would show me my available YouTube accounts. Usually there was Richie from Boston 2, Richie from Boston 3, which is still up. See it? Currently, I'm signed in as Jailbreak Overlander, and yes, I see the number, whatever. But let me click on RFB3. It instantly prompts me to sign in. When I try to sign in, this is what happens. It doesn't offer me Richie from Boston anymore. Richie from Boston 3, I should say, because I'm completely and utterly locked out. So to you,
isn't that strange, So don't think that he's not posting. Go to BitChute, go to the TV platform, which for some reason, every time I try to get it, it says my card's declined, and there's much more than $2.99 on my card. So hopefully they fixed that bug out. But it's the part here I wanted you guys to get a look at.
One America's Pearson Sharp from the CDC reveal hospitals have been counting patients who died from serious pre-existing conditions as COVID-19 deaths. One America's Pearson Sharp has more as the CDC counts over 51,000 patients who died from heart attacks as opposed to coronavirus.
The Centers for Disease Control have updated their death counts for coronavirus and reveal yet again that COVID-19 is rarely the actual cause of death among coronavirus.
Rarely. Coronavirus is rarely the cause of it. That's crazy. CV, rarely the cause of death. Getting arguments all the time. People are like, oh, it's real. It's got to be. I'm in the med field, blah, blah, blah. No people know this. I'm just like, all the people you know either A, had pneumonia, influenza, heart, whatever, all these pre-existing conditions that are life-threatening as is. Add a little flu in the mix, you know, that could just, that's the hay that broke the camel's back, guys, you know? That's how that works. It's called life. It's crazy, man. And now it's a big deal. Everyone's afraid of death all of a sudden. Oh no. It's crazy. And all these other people who allegedly died, they're well over the year of 65, you know, well over the age, well over it. So it's just what happens. You get old, you get sick, it could happen, you know, or if you have X, Y, and Z as pre-existing conditions, throw in a little CV AI in there, if you know what I'm saying, you know, might knock you right out, people. I'm just saying, you know. So you got them jumping the numbers. Check this out.
Patients. According to the CDC themselves, of the 220,000 deaths attributed to the coronavirus, 87,000 of them died from pneumonia and influenza.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Check this one out.
Another 17,000 died from chronic respiratory diseases, and 26,000 died from respiratory distress syndrome.
Wow.
44,000 patients died from hypertensive diseases. 23,000 died from heart disease, and a whopping 28,000 died from cardiac arrest and heart failure. Yet all of these, even patients who died from heart attacks, were marked down as dying from the coronavirus.
And why was that? That's because there are financially based incentives handed out by the CDC that give bonuses to just diagnose someone as CV with CV. I think that one's the 37,000 one. Use a ventilator on them. I think it was another 15 racks. And then ultimately, if you put the cause of death of COVID on their death certificate, even if they had influenza, heart condition, heart attack, diabetes, you name it, you get a whopping 50 G's on top of that. Interesting, dude. That's why all that's like that.
Saying a bird flew into the window next to me, distracting me from this video. And as I noticed the bird laying on the ground, slightly stunned, a hawk came down and swooped away with him. So there's that.
You know, I just put a comment on the screen by Larry. The CARES Act. Let's talk about the CARES Act. That got passed by the House and the Senate, who oppose each other, and ultimately signed off by Donald Trump, the savior. Your savior, people. MAGA 2020, baby. Give me a break. Give me a break. This guy wants you to label them that way. Give me a break. You think telling me that him and his administration didn't read every single page on there? Of course they did. Of course they did. They had to. They had to. Oh, that gets me going, dude. That gets me going. He's going to save the day. JFK Jr.'s coming back. Joe Biden, you know, I think he's got tendonitis, and that was an ankle bracelet. Give me a break, dude. They all work together. And I'm still under the impression that that we all know that Trump, Biden, all these people, all of them, they got doubles of some sort. I don't know exactly what they are, but I bet the real versions of them just left. And now we're just dealing with these effed up, doubles. MAGA, fifth degree of Satanism. Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine that. Absolutely crazy. Ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous.
But long story short, I've been telling you about this for the longest time. the point of this video is going to be that your government lies. Your government lies to you constantly. Your government's lied to you since from day one. And I'm going to show you all the proof and evidence that you possibly need. There's a reason they're shutting down certain people from saying certain things. I myself, love me or hate me, it does not matter. But this entire pandemic was predicted on my YouTube channel back in January and almost back in November. Don't believe me? Here it is.
Now, one thing you just said about getting rid of one of the best ways to get rid of the money is because everybody touches it and there's a germ. We were talking about the Bill Gates funding MIT and Bill Gates backing him, of course, because Bill loves people. He's always trying to help people out, whether he's poking your children with a needle or spraying things in front of the sun so you don't get that pesky sunburn. Bill loves people. They have the invisible ink tattoo that can be read remotely so they can tell if you've gotten your vaccine. Why would they need that unless there was a pandemic? That's the next step. And that ties right into what you just said. That'll do just like they always do. It'll be multifaceted. Already when I pay my phone bill, they charge me $1 convenience tax because I pay with cash. Yeah. It's a convenience tax.
Now, this live stream was on January. You called, lost over 700,000 subscribers, never heard of before. But check this out, okay? For some reason, in the world that we live in now, people somehow believe the mainstream media and they believe the government, which I do not understand. The United States that I grew up in, people did not believe the government. I'm with the government. I'm here to help. Everybody closes and locks their doors. I'm going to show you your mainstream media. This is Event 201. This happened in October of 2019, and this entire event was held by the same people.
October 19th, 2019, ironically the same day the World Military Games, think about that statement, the World Military Games were held in Wuhan, China.
People that are basically our pandemic guide tourists, Bill and Melinda Gates, World Economic Forum, John Hopkins, etc. But 1 week before this event was held, this occurred. You can find this on the YouTuber, the Potter's Clay channel, but I'm going to show you this. He's out of Syria when none of this occurred. It was a complete and utter fabrication. Syria by a country called Turkey, demanding the news media explain why they were lying. They knew they could push this off, and that's exactly what they did. But that's not the end of it. Your government has been lying to you from day one. Remember the war on drugs where George Poppy Bush declared?
All right, so that's about it from this video that I wanted to share. And until Ceiling Fan Man said he's going to join us soon, so that's cool. It was the World Military Games because they're the leaders in the world war. Yeah, absolutely. Very strange, huh? Very strange. We got 60 people in the house. What's going on? What's going on, guys? Check this out, something that we all should have seen a while ago. But Siri spelled backwards is iris. Interesting, huh? Like the little iris here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I just thought that was a little interesting. And from here, we're just going to scroll up a little and see them here. This is interesting, huh? Yeah. Yeah, they just changed the company and its location. Imagine that. Greek, Roman, understandable why those look, sort of the same. People still think this is an eagle. No, that's a phoenix. And it's still here, of course. The E pluribus unum, one out of many. Yeah. Yep. And even their hairstyle, George Washington, even that's Egyptian in nature. Very Sphinx-like. Some people theorize that Mount Rushmore, there was originally only one face. It was a Sphinx that I looked a little bit like George Washington, so they had to blast the other ones in. I don't really subscribe to that theory, but it's an interesting one nonetheless. Nonetheless, very interesting. Let's go through a couple more slides here. This is interesting. This is Tokyo. Looks very gritty, if you ask me. Very gritty. Much like a computer grid, especially like right down here on the left-hand side. There's your football stadium. That's just a processor. It's very strange. Very strange, huh? Very, very, very strange. We're going to watch this video in just a short bit. These are good streams right here. If you check out Martin Leckie, what's his name there? Zen Garcia, Hijacker, very good little films. Oh, we just went way too fast there. Here, I guess we'll just go up. We'll just do the old-fashioned way. Star Forts, you know, another phenomena that you would have to be smoking a large amount of crack to believe that humans, you know, symmetrically, geometry-wise, made all of this perfectly in whatever year they present us with. Just doesn't. I'm all set, you know. I'm just all set with their little theories and the crap they say. It's very interesting. Look at this stuff. This is lightning. You know, it's very interesting looking. Very interesting looking lightning. And reported all over the world this year. Oh, Jen just shared a picture. Here, we'll open this real quick. Look at that. The old blockchain. In and out, in and out. What's that remind you of? Probably DNA. That's what they want. We'll get into that in just a little bit. That's exactly what they want. Look at this lightning, literal plasma. Just literal. So when I was a kid, lightning would have to, like, you know, strike the ground or something. Now it just does whatever it wants, dude. Look at that. It's like they're walking. There's the arms. It's like Slender Man in the sky. Like, I don't live where the lightning is like this. And not whatever that is, you know? Look at that. Just incredible slides of just lightning. All right. What else? We got a couple more things. Let me see if the ceiling fan is here. Okay, so let me just get to a point where I kind of want to be at here. That was interesting. We looked at that, a little pyramid picture. For some reason, as fast as I can scroll. Interesting. There are a couple things up here I want to get. I just don't want to make sure I don't forget them. Just hold on 1 second. Ceiling fan. Yes. 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 What's going on, brother?
Oh, hey, man. No, keep doing what you're doing. I just, you know, like I said, if you ever want me to join, just send me a link. So here I am.
Here he is.
I'll add whatever I can to it, but I'm just going to kind of just be an observer. You do your thing.
But just I just got a couple of things on the Facebook wall from the last couple of days. I haven't been able to go live, but doesn't mean I haven't been able to share. At least on my wall, I'm not allowed to share in any groups again. If anyone sees this video, please make sure you like it and share it. Not for me, but for the other people, for the content, you know. Well, this is an interesting little picture, huh? Now I got someone else to work off of. This is like, I don't know if you ever seen the original picture this is based off of, but this is like probably the nicer version. The other one's just like, I don't even know what it's called, but it's pretty much the devil playing a flute, and there's just mass amounts of people just following him because they like the way it sounds, you know?
Mhm.
And
Well,
you know, this guy paints it as sheep, which is understandable. The sky looks a little messed up, but I guess that's expected in 2020.
Yeah, right.
I guess, you know. It's all coming out of the black box, you know, the black magic box, the weapon. Me and Bobby were getting into that the last time me and him did a stream. TV is made it was an electromagnetic frequency based weapon for mind control and other MK Ultra like purposes. Just very interesting.
Yeah, I put it in a video that they the patent actually shows like stuff coming out of the TV, like hypnotizing the person in the patent. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's pretty
yes, yes. And one of the updates that would make a physical reaction on your body on a dermatologic level, ironically, came out 2 months before that event in September of 2001. Imagine that.
right. Coincidences. That's that shelf you have again.
Look at this thing. Speaking of a shelf, how did I shared this a couple days ago? I was like, so how did people get up there and build a whole civilization
with a swimming pool?
Someone shared ladders. I was like, so they brought all their tools, their equipment, their people, women, children. They brought them all up the ladders, live up here to just leave one day and never come back. I don't think so. And the fact
what would
that
be the point? What would be the point?
Right. Kind of looks like a grid, in my opinion, too. If we got a little more of an angle over the top of it, a little pool there is probably still full of fresh water. It's very interesting stuff.
Yeah, I found. I didn't find it. My wife sent me this wild video. It's just a few minutes long. You can try to tell me what you see if you want to look at it.
Yeah, let me just get through these little slides here, and we'll bring that up. Just throw it in the. You can send it to my phone or the email, whatever's easier for you.
Oh, okay. I'll send it to your email.
And we're also friends on Twitter, so feel free to use the Twitter direct messaging.
Oh, okay, that'd make it easier because it is a Twitter thing.
Well, there you go. There you go. I'm not quite sure where these photographs are. I would have to say somewhere in South America. If it's not, that'd be really effed up. But I'm just gonna assume somewhere in South America has that Aztecian Mayan looking.
That was like a temple they do like sacrifices on or something, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Right, dude. And what's under the facade? Bricks. Imagine that. Everywhere you go. I was trying to share a bunch of pictures earlier, but my old phone didn't want to send them all, so I just look at the bricks underneath everything, underneath all the molding. It's all brickwork. How? I have no idea, but oh man. Just a big field. Look at these little like doohickey things up here. I wonder what those were for.
Right? That is weird. It's got maybe again everything is electric, so it's got to be some kind of way conducting electricity.
Like that. All right. Let me end the share here. It looks like South America. That's what I'm going with, Martin. That's what I'm going with, but you never know these days. All right, let me
I guess one of them went to your email, one went to your phone. So
I see my phone here just lit up.
Oh, that was that crazy video she said.
Okay.
It's actually a YouTube video.
Oh, it's actually I got a couple YouTube videos we're gonna dip into in a little bit as well.
It's called Something Weird in China.
All right. I can share it. I'm just trying to get something set up for next, and I think we'll go with that. Let's go to the email. Let's go to the email. Let's see, we have almost 80 watching now. So that's pretty lit. We'll download this. We'll open that.
And some people said hi to me in the chat. So hi everyone. It's a cheap way of saying hi, but it is what it is.
Cheap way of saying hi. I love it. All right, let me. Oh, I saw this video. That was interesting, dude. Right?
Yeah.
Let me copy this or not. Copy. I think I copied it. It's telling me I did, but doesn't feel like it. Yeah, I'm just gonna send this to Jennifer so it's easier to share. Yeah, that was so crazy. Here, let me open this right here. It was like, did you see the plasma I was showing earlier? What they're calling lightning? Yeah, I feel
when
like
I first started looking into all this stuff in the sky, those are called sprites or something, and it's like tripped me out. I didn't understand it, so I barely understand it now. But
yeah, sprites. Very similar to the word spirits.
Right. So this, just like it says, it kind of looks like a dragon flies over this building, and then the quote lightning strike happens. He zooms in on it.
And it's very real quick that we're talking about the dragon thing. I was trying to throw that theory at someone yesterday that who even knows what happened before the Great War? Maybe, who knows? All these quote unquote reset events, or that could just be evidence of a great scorch from above. And the only thing that adds up, there weren't really airplanes back then, I don't believe, but there could have been little dragons and what, you know what I'm saying? Like Lucifer, that old serpent, the devil, the dragon, like the Draco, it doesn't seem to go away. So maybe, and I feel like if he was to breathe fire out of his mouth, I don't think it would be fire as we know. It might look like fire, but it might be like sulfur, like all the sulfur they found. Gomorrah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I got the deer in the headlights look. You know what I'm saying? It's all good.
Oh, yeah, right. So yeah, that shape, he shows that it's moving around the building. He catches it again right there.
Oh man.
And then that's when, right about now, I think is when the lightning quote strikes. So
see, I never saw any of this part in the original video. I was just focused on the
right
strike itself and all the wow. That's what I'm saying, guy. That's so what I'm saying.
Whatever caused it, there's something moving around up there, whether it's a dragon or a spaceship or energy weapon or who knows what.
Right, or DARPA, who knows? Yeah.
A satellite.
Right, a ceiling fan.
Right, but whatever it is, you see it tracks and then the thing hits and then it leaves.
Wow. It's interesting. It's interesting for sure. For sure.
Yeah, drone maybe, who knows? But yeah. But they passing off as quote lightning, of course. Yeah, and growing up, I remember these things. They're like, yeah, there's this weird tribe, and they do all these things where they tie things. Metal
I was going to ask you if you're familiar with the headbanding.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just a cover story, so that there are. Yeah, so there's like human-looking skulls that are just elongated, and people are like, oh, it's just a headbanding culture of, the year 6, and it's just like, are you sure? You know what I'm saying? Like. Like, where'd they get that idea from? I don't know, actually.
Isn't it goofy when we look at things now?
Look at this guy.
With our new eyes. Like, we used to just blindly accept these things as truth and fact. And when you start breaking it down, it doesn't make any damn sense.
Look at this one. I can't say validity of any sort, but, like, that's just something out of Alien, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That could be, like you say, a cast or something. But there's definitely skulls that are shaped like this that they
Yeah,
say
look
was
at this
like
guy.
abandoned.
Is this Jacob? Yeah, it's Mr. Jacob Rothschild.
Of course.
Someone that no one in the general public knows about. And yet he's got one of these little teepee looking skulls. So
That's a coincidence.
it's gotta be. And so do all these people in history. You know, I feel like these grand hairs were just kind of gonna cover it up.
Dude,
what
you're
about the movie
100%
Conehead?
right.
You know, I don't know much about that one, but look at this egghead. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And they also made fun of it. Did you just say the Coneheads in Saturday Night Live? Remember that?
yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, they wouldn't release a movie like that if it wasn't to like take a jab at us, you know.
Mhm.
And you look at Mr. Bush, you know, his head's kind of fucked up. That's
Everything about him was.
yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me now. What about these dudes who wore these crazy hats and tartar and whatnot, you know?
And that's probably why the Pope hats are always these huge monstrous fish hats.
Yes,
So they
yes, of course they are. Of
Look at that
course they
guy.
are. I know. Look at these two fools. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
Now you're gonna make me start researching large-headed people.
I know. And like, what's up with them all? Look at this guy. You see? I don't know. It's that bloodline that doesn't seem to go away, you know? These people just don't seem to leave. Yeah, I'm really trying to skip through some of the modern day ones here. I don't really feel are too whatever, but yeah, Mr. Rothschild is highly suspect of not being a human being. Yeah. Look at this place, you know? What do you think was going on here, Rich? I got my thoughts. People are just going to tell me, you know, they were highly skilled and motivated civilizations who loved masonry.
What do you think that was? What's going on there? Is that like a drain? What is that?
It's just the side of a building that got demolished, man. Look at this. Look at the top, dude. This is a real roof for you, you know? Like you'd see that on the top of some of these grand mastered buildings and whatnot.
I guess it's such a grand scale and it's so ridiculously high that it's hard for me to comprehend it. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah, right.
Doesn't make any sense
here. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably stairs, but maybe they were added. I don't even know what's going on there. That's just a weird. All of that just weird. I can't even process it.
Right, bro.
I don't even know what's happening there.
You're gonna get to the top and just build a little temple with these little like caverns in here, you know? Like it's kind of strange to me with all these ley lines on top, little fresh water for you. It never seems to fail. You find these interesting, what could be old buildings. You find water. To me, that's just more validity. Oh, there's more pictures. This is what I'm talking about, buddy. Yeah, imagine that. And that's a person. Look at the stairs. Look at the stairs.
How the heck are we supposed to believe that they brought in all the materials to create this? It just doesn't make any sense. How do you even get past there with like large?
Dude, those are like 3-foot stairs, bro. Look at that. That's a big step. Look at the little people.
How do you get the stones on the carts and the donkeys up these mountains or whatever? Come on. Oh, come on. Look at that.
Very interesting stuff, you know.
Stop now. Stop on that one. Once your eyes are open, you realize they told us that back then it was like very primitive and we're well advanced technology now. No, it's idiocracy. We're the dumb people now. Look at the crap they were building in the quote 15th century. That's insane. Look at that cat. That doesn't even no kidding.
Oh man.
But go back to that building for a second. That thing's just so trippy. You can't.
Yeah.
So at the time, people were living in mud huts. They had just really no money or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's build this monstrous cathedral in the middle of town." For what? Oh, because we have extra time, extra what? Materials.
Notice how the doors don't start until about, I'd say about 10 feet off the ground, 15 feet off the ground. That's not normal. You don't build shit like that. I don't want your door to be like, you know, maybe a foot or two off the ground.
But doesn't it suck to know that we're the retarded kids of the generation? I mean, come on.
Oh, dude, I get reprimanded daily by people. You know, they're like, shame on you. You think everything's a lie. I'm just like, oh, shame on me, you know?
Yeah, we're riding the special bus and we think we're the greatest. Unbelievable.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm talking about. What I'm saying, bro. Who's building that? You know,
what?
like how?
With a little hand chisel in about 10 years, he had plenty of time, I guess.
Hey, this is like great grandson or something. I don't know, dude. That's ridiculous. Come on. You're gonna tell me that all of this wasn't once a structure. Look at the little windows. Look at the little windows.
Yeah, you can see it right there on the side where your pointer is. There's...
Ridiculous, bro. And this is just the part that survived.
So it just all got molten. It started melting and then it solidified. And that little piece on top didn't get hot enough to melt down.
Exactly. It all just stopped. That's the part that freaks me out about this X Factor crap. You could tell it got hot, but then it just stopped. What happened? I don't know. I don't know. Look at the cat. That's kind of freaky. Like, even this little neighborhood completely made of stone, all interconnected, little castle-y looking. I wonder what this was looking like. Edinburgh, Scotland. Exactly. I wonder what that looked like 1,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? This is in Morocco. This is in Africa, big man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit in Africa. We got to do another show. People are asking for it.
Oh, I got you. I got the things up.
Oh, yeah, oh, jeez.
I got it all up. I was going through the American one. That one's really effed up.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at it. I looked at one thing and I was just blown away.
You didn't look at those yet? I don't know what any of them say, but it's very crazy.
I did not that I'm like, but I did what was it, almost 3-hour show last night, I guess, on D Live with Brian. So I really haven't had time to leave some of those like the day before.
No, you're all set. You're good. You're all good. Look at this. This is inside of a concert hall in Romania. A concert hall. Look at this.
Sure.
Like, what's all that for? You know what I'm saying?
So go to some architect and say, okay, I want you to make this exact same thing for me and see what they say.
In the same amount of time it was built. Look at these snakes with little demon heads. Yo, that's not a good thing. But whatever. That's what I want my my artwork looking like, I guess.
And what's on the wall? I mean, all the paintings and stuff.
Oh, these people are blue over here, so I don't know, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you say. I don't know what that is. It don't look good.
Oh, it doesn't, dude. It doesn't.
Wait, go back to the organ. Is there triangles on it?
Oh, sorry. Let me see. Come on, get bigger. Where is the organ? We're in the back.
Way in the back.
Yeah,
what is that?
there's something.
Whoa.
There's little. Looks like
kind
wings.
of pyramid shapes, but I don't know what they are. It's just weird.
Might be animals. I don't know.
Maybe some
very
animals.
strange. They make the shape of it for sure. Look at this little thing in the middle, dude.
Yeah, that all the snakes are pointing to.
Yeah, I wonder what that is. You know, I wonder what that was made
Eye in the sky.
Yeah, yo.
Dude, I just happened to come across that. If you can, I don't pull up. You remember that? You might not know. You're not old enough. The Alan Parsons Project. They had that song "Eye in the Sky."
No, I don't think so.
It's a cool song, but you should check out the album cover. Because I
To
never
what?
thought about it. Look up Alan Parsons Project, "Eye in the Sky."
All right. Let me see here.
Album cover. Because, you know, with my new eyes, I look at things and go, oh, fuck. It was right there. There it is, Alan Parsons. Yeah, nothing to see there.
No.
And it's called Eye in the Sky.
Wow. Wow. That's what I'm saying, people. You know, that's what the eye of Horus or the pineal gland that's inside of you.
This is what they've been doing our whole life, showing us. It's right there, and we don't know it. Those who don't have eyes can't see it.
It blows my mind how long these people have been doing this, though, man. You know?
But as nuts as the world has become, at least one thing is they're not going to get to do it much longer. So,
look at this. You might like this here. Wait. So you got the new Time Person of the Year. You know, you got Kamala, Joe, your two men. You know, because that's not. You know what I'm saying, bro? There's no way that's a chick. I'm sorry.
Well, it's
So
probably just one of those elongated head people. We should measure her size of her head.
well, dude. Uncle Joe's got a big head. That's okay. But you take the word person, throw it in Latin, persona, actor's mask, character and play, you know? That's interesting. Shout out to Marika for bringing me that one. That's your character of the year, your actor or actors of the year. Very strange how they give the person of the year to one person. And I thought people would like this, you know. Would you be willing to get a COVID vaccine in exchange for a $1,500 check?
See, once again, like I said, they're not going to come down your door, beat it down with a gun, and jab
No,
you.
they're gonna make it very interesting. It's a mind
You have
game.
to ask your permission.
Mm.
Hey, can I jab you with this? If I give you
$1,500,
$1,500,
can I have your soul? Pretty much, yeah.
Right, you go, heck yeah, I want that $1,500. And there you go. So you gave it away.
And they're gonna get it, dude.
Then they can do whatever they want at that point if you allow it.
Oh, this is a fun picture. This is all the people that are telling us to lock down and be healthier.
I've done videos on this. I mean, the one on the bottom right, the LA. I mean, she looks like The Walking Dead. It's just nothing about her looks healthy.
I don't think she's ever seen the sunlight.
No.
Very strange.
But that's again part of the whole thing. They have to put it in plain sight and say, "Hey, you guys are stupid if you believe us," by using those as the health people. I mean, it's once you see it, you can't unsee it. Everything they do is so over the top obvious because we have to give our consent.
Look at this place.
Where are we, back in Egypt?
Must be, man. If not, I'm very concerned, but yeah.
It's like some kind of Sphinx character up there too.
Apparently, speaking of sphinxes, there's two sphinxes that are guarding a what did my buddy say? What were they guarding? They're guarding a mausoleum out of a park near my house. So I'm gonna have to check that out, but I'm gonna have to wait for the holiday season to be over with, you know, because they're doing the light tour through the park or something. So it's shut down to the public while they have their lights on and you drive through it and you're all happy and, you know, stuff to just numb your mind while they keep rolling out X, Y, and Z. I did not know there were more pictures to go with this. Interesting.
And you know, you got me fixated now on the large-headed people. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has a giant head, sort of elongated, and he's sort of like a crazy steroidal mess.
So does the Will Ferrell.
He has a big head.
You know, I don't even know what we're looking at there, but that's just incredible to look at.
My search engine's not gonna say famous big-headed people.
Long-headed people.
Long-headed. That's even better.
I got an interesting couple pictures of seraphim angels. I just know where they are. I thought they would be on my page by now. It's kind of what I've been looking for. That's kind of what I've been looking for. Yeah, Bill Gates is acting fucked up again. We'll get into that in a little bit. Oh, in New York City, they have banned indoor dining again. So,
yeah, and I heard England's going into their stage 3, which is shutting pretty much everything down again too, just like here.
Nice. Look at this one. Chuck Schumer endorses Biden's plans to enforce schools or to force public schools to allow males and female bathrooms.
So silly.
So stupid, bro. You know, ridiculous.
Try to make us fight over everything. So apparently Tom Hanks has a large head, of course.
Oh, of course, dude. Look at this. This was part of the plan the whole time. This is what QAnon's plan was. QAnon's plan is to make everyone who believes in a quote unquote conspiracy look like some asshole. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they think of people who support QAnon or just a conservative outlook on life, who know that the world is a stage, you know? Because we're going to get folded into this group, I feel. Take a read of that. You can see that.
Well, it's a double-edged sword, because besides making the QAnon people look insane and then lumping him in with people like us.
No, they're lumping us in with people like them. You know, I'm all set. You know,
Yeah, no,
those people
I
aren't
agree.
all set.
But what I find fascinating too is, because I was a Q-tard years ago, and we got out of it. So it's funny because Brian always uses me as like his guy that knows about this stuff. And the thing is they're still telling them that literally, because I check in on it, see what they're up to, because nothing's happened in several years. Like we got out of it probably a couple of years ago, and because nothing ever happens. And they literally had something just a few days ago saying like, okay, the show is about to start. And they always tell you, okay, so trust the plan, sit down, eat popcorn and watch the show. In other words, anybody that potentially could come up with any resistance, because all the right-wing Republican, Trump, whatever people that have their guns, they're sitting at home waiting for their messiah Trump and the Q police to come in and rescue the children and save the government and save the world. So, it's a double-edged sword, because you got those people just totally quiet, thinking things are happening. Like, and then you got the other side saying, like you just said. So it's pretty wild. Oh, what's this?
It's just a giant rant I had the other morning, just about exactly everything you're saying, bro.
Yeah, I got to do a second. I did one Q video called Soap, and I'm going to do another one because I didn't even cover JFK Jr. because that's a big part of the puzzle, man.
God, dude. It kills me, man. It kills me. And
something they said probably 1,000 times, and I didn't hear it until just when I did, start looking into it. They always talk about the deleted emails of Hillary Clinton. Just happens to be 33,000. Just saying.
Of course. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. You ever heard of the luciferase enzyme?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I know that they have the technology, and they're saying they want to put this quantum dot tattoo and all this stuff.
No. That's not even a mention yet. They're rolling out Pfizer. That's still that's the syringe-based stuff that you got to freeze,
But it's almost like there's a possibility, Steve, that they're put all this stuff out so people like us jump on it, because I've talked about this too. Everyone has. And maybe there's just another way to just make us look ridiculous, because the first set of vaccines, the first set of whatever those things are,
jabbers,
we don't know what it's going to do. And maybe it does nothing just to make us look even stupider.
That's what I'm thinking. Either nothing will happen or people will actually start to get sick, which will make the public want the solution even more. And then they'll roll out the stuff like this, the DARPA hydrogel that it irreversibly connects you to the Internet of Things, like all
and
of that
sounds exactly like when God says that people will want to die and won't be able to. It sounds to me you're connected to a system that you can't get out of.
Absolutely. And with that being said, we got 90 watching now, so I'm gonna put on a few clips. I don't know if anyone here follows Days of Noah. Have you checked them out before on YouTube?
Sounds familiar, but it's not someone I watch regularly. I might have caught something, but no, I'm not sure.
I highly suggest that people start listening to him regularly, because he's on it, yo. This kid's on it. He's sharing. So basically, I'm gonna share probably 3, maybe 4 clips from one of his last live streams where he's showing jab technologies that are like eons ahead of the crap that they're showing us now. But the funny thing is, all the links that he provides below here in the show notes, all these links, they're all from like 2018 and 2019. Isn't that strange? So this luciferase, this quantum dot, the patch. I don't know if you heard about the patch, where you don't even need a doctor to administer it to you. It's a Band-Aid that they can mail to you through Amazon Care, perhaps, and you just put it on yourself. Yeah, very strange. But here, let's.
Before you get real quick, I was going to say, you and I talked about, so like once you get the jab and let's say, quote, nothing happens, you don't know, because it could be 5 to 10 years before real symptoms hit. So what if, and people that don't know about, actually, I'm working on a video, but there's a thing that was given to women right after the war for nausea called thalidomide. And if you don't know what that is, you should look it up, because after they gave thalidomide, I think it was 5 years or so after, all the babies started coming out with no arms and legs. And so
Imagine
then
that.
they removed it from the market, of course. But, you know, another thing to think about, anything that's ever been okayed by the FDA, like this new thing has, was anything that's ever been retracted or what do you call that? What's that word when you're not allowed to do something? But anything that's ever been revoked or removed from has been approved at one point by the FDA. So just the fact the FDA said, hey, this one's good to go, doesn't mean 5 years from now they go, oh, we got to stop, because it's potentially, like you and I talked about, that movie Children of Men. What if it has something to do with reproduction potentially in 5 years?
I believe so.
You know, so you've already got people that are socially distanced, so you really can't even get into a relationship to try to have a family. So there's one. Number two, you got people that are just like, this world is so fucked, I don't want to bring a kid into it right now. There's a double whammy, and the triple whammy is maybe there's something in the prick they give you that'll kind of mess up that. You know, we already know they're putting things in the drinks and stuff for that too, but you know, the Georgia Guidestones, they want to lower the number of the people. I don't think they round us up and shoot us. I think they just call it like Bill Gates said, through vaccines and child stuff or whatever. That's what I see.
Reproductive health care. Yeah. And like you said, they could shoot you up with something like this and nothing happens. Well, they have things like that. You know, the Inovio one, you get the shot, you know, but nothing happens until they activate it with a device from outside the body that shoots a frequency into the stuff they just shot into you, and it carries out its mission.
Yeah. No, and that's the other thing too. Like, you can even do a breakdown and say, okay, this is what's inside this little vial of VXX, right? That's what's inside it. However, when you look at it and the doctor sticks his hypo into it and pulls it into the thing, it's just liquid. You don't know what the hell's in that bottle. He takes for granted wherever it came from that they put in the thing. He doesn't test each vial that he gets. So they don't even know what they're shooting.
Yes.
Who knows what they're shooting in you? And you don't know what they're shooting. Even if they give you the label and saying this is what's in it, you don't know if that's what's in it. I mean, the blind test they do now where they have placebo, people think they're taking a pill and they're not. You don't know what's in those shots, and even the doctor giving it to you doesn't.
Exactly, which gets the doctors right off the hook. If the company messes it up, you know, you can't sue the doctors. And just in case the company does mess it up, you can't. All liability has been withheld, you know, from or liability charges will be withheld against Pfizer in this next rollout, which makes me think that this is the stuff that's going to cause damage. You know, the I Am Legend scenario where it gets everyone ill and it makes them really want the next step, you know, problem, reaction, solution, order out of chaos, you know, many or one out of many. But
and as Kim said, it doesn't come in the regular syringe, which, okay, I mean, I don't know, that's fine. But again, it's a liquid inside it and you don't know what is in it, you know. And a lot of these drugs we get from China, which, I thought those are the people trying to kill us.
Imagine that. Imagine that. All right, I'm going to play for a minute here, and we'll there's a couple clips. There's a little clip here I wanna watch, and then there's another one down here, and I think the last one's back here, and that's the icing on the cake one. So we'll get here first, okay?
You got to keep it. We have to keep it cold. So mistakes can happen.
Oh, this is another good point. I didn't even mean to start it here, but I'm going to bring this back about 10, 15 seconds and listen to what he has to say about these jabs that have to be kept very cold. I think it's just a cover for things to go wrong, you know? Because if it has to be at negative 100 degrees Celsius and it's at negative 80 degrees Celsius, that kind of puts them off the hook if something does go wrong, like, oh, we couldn't keep it cold enough, so it didn't work the way it was supposed to. But now we got these ones you could keep at room temperature, like the Inovio one I showed you guys, or the Moderna one that doesn't have to be kept cold. And real quick, everyone look at the stock market. Go look at Pfizer stocks. You think that's going to be the savior jab? No, it has done nothing but dropped significantly since it's gotten approved in the UK and USA. But look at Moderna, does nothing but go up. Scary Scary. And if you look at Moderna on the stock market, everyone has their little trademark, the little acronym. It's mRNA, modified RNA. Come on. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. All right, let's check this out.
And to make it, I feel like it's to build up not just anticipation, but to create more conflict, more red tape, like, oh, we have to keep it cold. So mistakes can happen and they have something to blame mistakes on, right? It just gives them another out. It gives them another element of confusion because the type of technology they have waiting, and it exists already, it's here, needs none of those things. So the fact that they're pushing that so hard in the media right now, and the fact that I know for sure that the media is made for people who don't read, who don't pay attention to what's going on, who don't question narratives, who completely trust 100% in what they're told and believe the media is the source of information and knowledge that they need to survive in the world. I understand that that's what media is. Media is made for that audience. So when I watch this news, when I watch the media, I know that these messages are not fit for me, and I can tell who they're fit for. So when I find contradictory or conflicting evidence outside of that, I can compare the two. And this is interesting here. So let me pull this up. So first here, I just want to give you, what's this one here? This one. Okay. So here we go. This is the microneedle. Now, this microneedle patch can be connected to the luciferase quantum dot technology. So that quantum dot nanoparticle technology works with this microneedle. Now, this was March of 2019. What's interesting is spring of 2019 and summer of 2019, tons of different events, shows, just different representations and productions of this new type of vaccine technology. Interesting.
Okay.
Right? Like a year or a little less than a year before the whole COVID thing hit. So they've already had this technology. Why is it that they're pushing old tech like syringes? Think about it.
Think about it, guys. Like, isn't that kind of alarming how they're pushing this old stuff with like Pfizer and syringes and scary needles and but in reality they got patches they could send you in the mail that you could put on yourself. Leave it up to you, the user, your consent. No one's gonna tie you down. They're just gonna slowly start phasing people out who don't take this on their own means, not the one that's here now, getting rolled out now, that expect that to fail. If you want to make money, put bets against fucking Pfizer, I'm just saying. But whatever they roll out next, doesn't matter what company it is, it's all going to be the same. It's all going to be the same, the stuff they roll out next, the stuff that's not syringe based.
It's interesting. We'll talk more, but let's watch this.
Okay. This microneedle patch is an exciting development. It's a great example of how NIH-funded research and innovation and technology can improve the lives of all of us. The microneedle patch is a dime-sized patch of needles that are so tiny you can barely see them with the naked eye. And within this dime, there'll be 100 or so of these tiny needles that are so small that when you place them on the skin, they don't cause any pain, even after they penetrate the skin. And they are biodegradable because they can dissolve in water. Because they are needles, you can use them for an injection of a vaccine or even drugs such as insulin. So here is the beauty of this innovation, and the thing that's really appealing about it. Actually, there's several things, but one of them is that the microneedle patch has embedded in it a vaccine that is dried.
Pay attention to this, guys. a vaccine that is dried. No liquids, no temperatures, no syringe necessary. Let's run this back. This was 2019 March. What he's talking about is 10 steps ahead of whatever the heck they're showing you on the news right now. Why is that? Run this back.
Has embedded in it a vaccine that is several things, but one of them is that the microneedle patch has embedded in it a vaccine that is dried. It's not in a liquid form, as is typically the case when you get an injection in your arm from the physician or your nurse. But in this dried state, it's within the microneedle or on the surface of the needle. And once the needles are applied, the vaccine is delivered. Because it's dried, it doesn't require refrigeration. The fact that it doesn't require refrigeration opens up fantastic possibilities for how you can store it and distribute it. It could be placed on the shelf in a drugstore, for example. You could go in and just pick up your vaccine, take it home and apply it yourself. Or imagine that you go to your mailbox and get an envelope, and in that has your vaccine for the year.
Think about it. You don't even got to go to a clinic. You don't have to see a nurse. You don't have to see a doctor at all. They can mail it to your doorstep. Amazon, Care, ring a bell. Think about it. Crazy. Let's run this back. 2019.
For example, you could go in and just pick up your vaccine, take it home and apply it on the shelf in a drugstore. For example, you could go in and just pick up your vaccine, take it home and apply it yourself. Or imagine that you go to your mailbox and get an envelope, and in that has your vaccine for the year. You go in the house, put it on your arm, just like you would a Band-Aid, press it a little bit, 5 minutes later, it's totally dissolved. You peel this off. There's no hazardous material to dispose of because the needles are biodegradable and melt literally in the skin, and you're vaccinated.
Wait, what did he just say?
You like that?
Yeah, the needles melt into your skin. Yeah, there's nothing that could go wrong there.
You don't hear that stuff on CNN, you know?
What does that even mean? Gross.
You tell me what it means, dude. You've been around longer than I have. Everyone thinks I'm, it's crazy, bro. You tell me what that means. Everyone should know what that means, yeah? It's inside of you and you cannot get it out.
And the way that he just says it so calmly, it's like, yeah, that's
He's not,
the thing.
and he's trying so hard not to laugh either when he's talking about taking it home and doing it yourself. It's crazy. Crazy, bro.
It improves the accessibility because you can distribute it easily. It doesn't require a professional because you can do it yourself. So it's a fantastic innovation.
Okay, guys. I mean, just that right there eliminates all the crap and drama and nonsense that we've been fed over the past 6 months regarding some savior jab. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like, why? When they've had this.
And the most dangerous virus known to mankind, you gotta wear masks and stay away from everyone and do all this stuff. And then we're gonna just inject a little bit of it into you to make you safe. Like
I'm all set, dude, right? I'm all set. Yep, look at that. Disciple knows they have to activate some jabbers from externally with an electrical charge. You know what I'm saying? Now we got 5G in the air. Now you have Starlink, all of that crazy stuff. And this stuff just dissolves into you, Rich. Try getting that out. Try getting that out, people. I got this little clip here. Then there's one more here at the end.
See what the needles are made of that they dissolve? That's just
a biodegradable
Yeah, but that doesn't
Some
tell me.
sort of I'm trying to think. What is it? Stainless steel. I forgot exactly what they said.
I don't remember any stainless steel that melts into skin. That's so bizarre.
Me neither, dude. And yet it's all good.
I'm really curious of what they're actually using. Isn't that something?
Probably a silicone-based hydrogel that just dissolves away. Interesting.
Drives a Dodge Corona in IM11.
Dropping bombs in the Corona.
Those who hate shots, and actually, there's only one type, because everybody hates needles, right? Well, now injections in your arm are finding strength in numbers. You might soon avoid the flu because of hundreds of needles in you. Here's Adam Yamaguchi to explain.
Getting vaccines and other important inoculations are all part of protecting your body from disease and building immunity against harmful viruses. Luckily, a team at the Georgia Institute of Technology is striving to find a less painful way to deliver these life-saving medicines.
We're motivated to do that in part because vaccines are often given to kids who don't like the needle stick so much. We're also motivated because people in this country as well as around the world don't always have sufficient access to healthcare personnel administering vaccines, and so this is a very simple way to administer them.
He's talking about this, a small patch with...
Look at that. Look at that, dude. Looks
I
like
want one.
denim.
Stab that sucker into me right now.
Right. I'm so tired of my immune system. Come on.
Yeah, God knew nothing. You know, He didn't make us perfect. We need these things stuck in us of shit. Nonsense.
Not just one needle, but 100 of them, each one dissolving into your skin after applying the patch with little to no discomfort.
No.
I headed south to Atlanta, Georgia to meet Mark Prausnitz, a Regents Professor of Biomolecular Engineering at Georgia Tech, to learn more about the development of these microneedle patches.
Welcome to Georgia Tech, Adam. Let's look at some microneedles. Great. So in fact, here I've got some pulled up on the screen.
Several times magnified, I would imagine.
Just a few times magnified, and in fact, if we see the real thing,
oh, wow.
It just looks like that. So that little square in there is where all of those microneedles are.
How many needles are in this little patch here?
There are 100 needles, 10 by 10.
Wow.
10 by 10. Rich, do you know why 10's a very interesting number?
Tell me, man.
Say it.
No, I'm asking you. Tell me.
Well, exactly. Say 10.
10.
Say 10. Say it.
10. What?
You don't get it? Say 10. Say 10.
Stop it. Yes, you're right.
Weird, dude, right? It's weird.
That is weird. That's weird.
Microneedles are as tall as just a few hairs are thick.
How exactly does this work?
You take this patch, you would apply it to the wrist. So press it here to the wrist. You push down firmly, then you leave it in place for a few minutes. When you're done, you can peel it off and throw it away.
So
What if he
inside
collapses?
And that's it, dude. And that's it.
Then he collapses.
Very crazy.
You know, I'm starting to love, as you were playing that, I'm looking around. I'm trying to find what they're made of. They talk about them, but they don't actually tell you what they're made of.
Of course not. Of course not. All right. One more, and then we'll get back into some other things that aren't CV related. Because I don't like doing whole shows on this crap because it's mostly just doom and gloom. But, you know, if you just don't take it, have faith, and you should be all right. You know what I'm saying? If your life ends here, oh no, you know, oh no, God forbid, you know, we don't get to live in this jungle of a mess. You know what I'm saying? Like
Jail they stuck us in. See, we're still on God's earth, but we're trapped inside this prism of a fake world.
The illusion. The
That's what we're
illusion.
trying to get out of. We got to get to the other side, like Truman.
Yeah, we got to give it a shot, dude. Got to give it a shot. And real quick, way back when the only reason I knew this whole thing was going to be a complete sham was, well, first of all, Kobe Bryant, he got buried in Corona del Mar. Very interesting. Very interesting, you know, and that before they fixed the cipher, whoever they are, if you typed in the word Kobe, into Hebrew. They gave, the Hebrew looking transcript. And if you took that, copy and pasted it, and did Hebrew to English, it would be COVID. Very strange how that used to happen. Now it doesn't. Now it doesn't.
Is that the name of this? Yeah, I think this is an outlet called Futurism. It's an article here from. This is from December 19th, 2019. Let me pull up the article clip here. I still can't see it, huh? Do this one. There we go. Invisible ink tattoos could be used to ID vaccinated kids. Here we go. This looks illuminated. Now, I think this is editing here. I'm assuming this is just for visual effect. But what I think they're implying here is that this is the luciferase thing.
Uh-oh.
Right? So what they do is, and these are the microneedles. Okay? These are the microneedles, and they put the patch on, and then the substance, whatever the heck they're putting in us, becomes like a light, right? It just becomes like a light, and they could track it. So here we go. Let's read a little bit of it. They're only visible using a special smartphone camera app and filter.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man, dude.
There it is.
There it is. There it is, guys. And what do we all have? Every single one of us, at least most of us, we all have a smartphone.
So imagine that. You can only activate or check out your quantum vax tattoo with your cell phone through an app. Isn't that strange? That's rather strange if you ask me, dude. Like that's a little hardcore. That's a little hardcore. That's literally merging tech and whatever they present as the medical field stuff, the vaxes, the jabs. That's not good.
Transhumanism.
Imagine that, dude. And they got their own Bill of Rights that literally state, what does it state? Oh, it's not illegal. It's anyone who, all right, I forgot it. Let me look it up real quick. What is it? Transhuman party, blah, blah, blah. Transhumanist Bill of Rights, Article 6 states involuntary aging shall be classified as a disease, Rich. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that mean? Involuntary aging. What is that? What is that? That's called living. It's called living. That's classified as a disease.
Involuntary aging. I like how they say that. It's interesting.
Very interesting, huh?
Hey,
Yeah.
let me show you something real quick about this tattoo thing that you're saying. So I went on this site here. Am I sharing this?
You are.
I went on this site, and it goes over this thing that you're talking about. You know, this exact thing. It has the pictures of it and all that.
Get it.
Right? But I'm still trying to find out what it's made of. So I went down to here. That's a cool picture. and
right. It almost looked like an Egyptian picture. You know what I'm saying? You got your pillared building, a little pyramid here, star forts on the ground. It's weird, dude. Rivers.
And then I went down here, and it talks about someone here had said what it's made of, and one of the things it said was sodium, however you say that, hyaluronate. And okay, so what is it? They make it so hard to figure out what things are. So what is that? It's a sodium of this type of acid, hyaluronic acid. So then I went to hyaluronic acid, and here it goes, and it says that it's it talks about it's the neurotissues. It's distributed through the connective, epithelial, and neural tissues. So that's not good, as you say. And then it also talks about, where is it? It's the chief component of this, whatever this is, cellular matrix. I can look at that next. But it contributes significantly to cell proliferation, migration, and also malignant tumors. Right there. It's right in their own description. Those little needles potentially may be involved with malignant tumors. So there's that.
Wow.
There's that. And then what else does it says? It's also a component of this capsule and believed to play a role in whatever viral. What is this? Ability to infect or damage a host. What are we doing, man? All you got to do is a 10-minute Google search on Wikipedia of all places as it tells you this thing potentially causes you tumors and damages the host. Wonder what the host is. Us?
Very interesting.
And the electrical cellular matrix is a three-dimensional So I guess it's just the way to describe this structure. But yeah, right there it talks about it's going to potentially kill the host and give you tumors. So there's that, You
can't beat that.
Nothing to see there.
No, nothing at all. With that being said, we got Jen here. What's up, Jen?
Oh, now we're in trouble. Hey, Jen.
Hi, everybody.
Big trouble.
Glad to be here.
What's going on? What's going on in Alabama today?
Fucking Bama. Well, everybody's masked up to the hilt. It's just really to the hilt. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's like grown men, the same thing we've been saying all this time. It's just
it's worse now, dude.
It is. It seems like it's worse, and they all have those really weird ones that come up over their face that looks like some kind of, I don't know. It just tears me up every time I have to go out in public anymore and see these people masquerading around and everything.
It's really draining. It is. Just walking around looking at them because it's like you feel like you're in some weird Twilight Zone episode that never ends, and you can't see anyone's faces anymore, and it's just like the zombie apocalypse is upon us.
And I've been getting the stare down lately again. That started up again. People staring me down, and I just turn around and say, "What the fuck are you looking at?" Because I don't give a fuck anymore. These people are
I just laugh. I just start laughing and shake my head.
See, I just go in there with the thought I want to go and get this thing that I want to do, whatever, like I've always done. And I just go in with that thought, like nothing's changed. Because in my mind, the world, nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed yet.
And I try my best to not look at the people because, first of all, it makes me sad. And second of all, then they can't give you the stare down because if you don't know what's happening, you can't get upset by it. So if they dare say anything, which they really never do, I think they've done it twice with my wife when I wasn't there. But they always run away when they say it, so you don't even have a chance to respond. So, yeah they're scared of everything, including us, because we're going around barefaced.
Yeah, they watch too much Tell Lies to Their Vision, and they're utterly fucking sold on the lie.
There was no TV. There wouldn't be no TV, bro.
Where there's no pandemic? At the
Amishville. Yeah.
Oh, really? Imagine that. I wonder what they're going to do with those people because they're not getting a shot.
Check this out, Jen. The great state of Massachusetts. Look at this.
Up to birth? What are they going to do? The baby's going to come out and they're going to euthanize it immediately? Like, what is that?
Ridiculous.
Baldini said something that it was a quote that was used, but
sacrificing babies.
Said,
without a parent's knowledge or consent. Imagine that.
See, he said they say abortion isn't killing a baby, it's just a bunch of cells. Except when you have a miscarriage and then you've lost a baby. So which is it? You can't have it both ways.
Well, I'd like to point out also, if they inject you with nanotech and can read and control your body activities, then they can give you an abortion without your consent. Because all they got to do is program that RNA crap nanotech to abort, and your body will abort it. See, they have complete control over your body functions as well as reading your body functions.
Absolutely. And you got to think about the side effects of the stuff they're rolling out now, because stuff they're rolling out now, that's not going to be the what we're looking for, the see all end all vax. But the stuff they're rolling out now is going to cause nothing but damage to the human being structure wise. And I feel like sterility is going to be up there. You know what I'm saying?
Give it about 5 years and then you'll see the results.
I give it less than that.
And look how much they've already genetically modified people through the GMO foods that they eat and stuff. You genetically modify crops. You're going to eat those crops. It's going to genetically modify you. Homosexuality has exploded over the last 20 years. from all the crap that they put in the foods and stuff. I mean, that's what I attribute it to for sure. The plastics and everything.
Even the
Look at
mainstream coming out now saying those energy drinks like Red Bull and stuff can cause sterility. So there's that.
Oh yeah, I think we all knew that a while ago. Not, not if anything's trending, don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
And look at this. The amendment would also allow non-doctors, whatever that means, to abort unborn babies and lower the parental consent requirements from 18 to 16. Come on. Come on, yo. This is
A
crazy.
non-doctor? What the hell does that even mean? Somebody sitting in a fucking control room somewhere who's just going to push
I
a
don't
button?
know.
And
I don't know. It's just ridiculous, right? Ridiculous. You know what's even more ridiculous? This. China to expand their weather modification program. I thought that was a conspiracy theory. I thought I was just making things up for the last 5 years. Now it's all good. What?
Yeah.
Because now they're saying they're doing it to save the environment because of global warming, of course, right?
And what were they doing before?
Creating the chaos.
Of course. Ridiculous. I got patents that go back to 1811 on all this that have been taken off the internet. So isn't that a hoot? Look at these great people. We're making war with the weather. Rockets for cloud seeding, attempting to make rain in 2011. You guys did this in 1952.
Yeah, if they were doing it, they prove they have the technology. When we get these giant fires, why the hell aren't they doing it? It makes no sense. They just hold back.
Well, Rich, it's just like what they're rolling out now. They're trying to sell everybody on the needle-based jab. But in reality, all the articles and videos we went over are a year to 2 years old. Why aren't they trying to roll that stuff out? Because this stuff is going to cause the damage. The next stuff, well, not fix it, but that'll be their solution. That's my opinion. It's called mind control. It's called psychological warfare. People forget we're under attack by these people.
And the psychological warfare is good, Steve, because the psychological warfare that they play on people with these flu seasons, take fucking seasonal flu shots and stuff. I mean, give me a fucking break.
Yep. And the survival rate now of the Kernani is at worst 98%, and these are like, what was it? I think they've gone up higher. I think they got to 100. But remember, we were doing the show and it was like 94%. It's like,
yeah, it's 100% now. You're right.
Yeah, but even if the V is 100%, you were at almost 100% without it. And like you say, everyone's gotten the V for the flu for the last 50 years, and nothing's changed. We're still getting it. And then they say, well, once you get the V, can I take off my mask? And they're like, no. So then what's the point?
Imagine that. And we were talking about this yesterday, Rich. Bill Gates' little speech about V's and reproductive health services. And now I see why he put all those together, because that will all be included in this next coming jab, where he's going to take care of population and your reproductive health.
Mm-hmm. And then you get the Georgia Guidestones, where we lower the population. You don't have to round people up and shoot them. You just wait till they die off on their own.
So let's check this out. Just a little refresher. This is 10 years ago, people. Okay, this is 10 years ago. This little troll's been talking about this stuff. Here, let's give him some audio. Check this out.
The equation has 4 factors, a little bit of multiplication. You've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to 0. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to 0. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to 0. That's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look.
These people are like laughing about it too.
We've got population. Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
All in one, baby. That's what the next jab's going to be. It's going to take care of your population control. It's going to take care of your reproductive health care services, and it's going to take care of your whatever the hell else he just said, your Medicaid, pretty much, because all that's going to go away. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't going to be able to have kids if you get this next vax. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous, man. And he just proves it right there, right here, 10 years ago in a TED Talk.
Yeah, I did a video called Chinese Takeout. I used that clip because that was the one I combined with what you guys taught me about the ghost cities, and figured that maybe there's a bunch of us that are headed that way. And so people have known about that clip forever. No one cares. No one cares.
A lot of people saying the stream is buffering all of a sudden. That's not good. We just lost like 20 viewers. People are saying it's okay now. That's interesting.
It was when you were doing the Bill Gates thing. That's when it went wonky.
Oh, yeah. See, they don't want you to.
Imagine that.
So somebody in the chat said to look up Trumpery, and I
saw that. Did you look it up?
Yeah, it says without use or value, rubbish, trash, worthless stuff.
Yeah, someone sent me that yesterday. That's pretty well.
Very interesting.
Drain the swamp. He is the fucking swamp.
I'm saying, bro. He's telling people to stay home, put your popcorn in. You know, we got this.
Yeah, I gotta send Hillary to jail. Just trust the plan. It's been like 8 years, whatever. He can't find her. Anyone can find her.
This guy here looks like the EU's version of Donald Trump.
Oh, he is. Look at this guy.
Brother from another mother.
Ridiculous. We've already shared this, but this is just a more condensed version of what he was saying. And he's not blue this time.
I liked him better as a blue Smurf.
Yeah, me too. With his green hair or whatever he had.
Oh, yeah, he was the Hulk. That's right. He's about to Hulk out. But yeah, what a joke. Their shit's just as joke as ours.
All right, I'm going to hit play.
And there are today people who are still actually anti-science. A whole movement called the anti-vaxxers.
And this speech is from like well over a year and a half, maybe even 2 years ago. And he just leads off with like, shame on those anti-vaxxers, shame on those anti-scientist people. That's us. That's us. That's us. Shame on us, I guess, for not being an idiot.
Seems to acknowledge the evidence that vaccinations have eradicated smallpox, and who, by their prejudices, are actually endangering the very children they want to protect. And I totally reject this anti-scientific pessimism. I'm profoundly optimistic about the ability of new technology to serve as a liberator and to remake the world wondrously and benignly. Indeed, in
Build back better.
Exactly. Ridiculous, dude.
Technology is already doing just that. Nanotechnology, I mentioned earlier, revolutionizing medicine by designing robots a fraction of the size of a red blood cell, capable of swimming through our bodies, dispensing medicine and attacking malignant cells like some Star Wars armada.
And this guy's a complete puppet. We went over this guy. The fact that
exactly what it's going to do. What he just said. Go ahead, ceiling fan. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You should talk about what he's saying, but I just can't get over. He's such a puppet. He doesn't know what he's saying. His hair's a mess. His tie's a mess. His suit doesn't fit. No one gives a crap. I mean, 10 people would have stopped him and said, "You're the leader of this country. Let's dress you up." No, he's a buffoon. He's a puppet. He's a clown, just like our guy. Our guy dresses with orange makeup. I mean, come on. I mean, even when I was a fan of the guy, it's like there's no one could tell him that's not a good look. I mean, it's so ridiculous, over the top. And then Rudy Giuliani, and he's like, what did he have? Something dripping down the side of his face. And it's just like they try to tell everyone this is a clown show. These are actors. This is all nonsense, but nobody listens. So
yeah, and what he just said too is, this vaccine. Nanobots going through your body, fixing you up. The doctor
medicine, through your bloodstream.
So it's gonna self-diagnose you and work within your own body. So people, if they're gonna package it like it's something that's gonna help you in some way,
exactly.
You're gonna give up control of your bodily functions and your free will, because that nanotech is gonna go up to your brain as well. and they want you to have a heart attack and die. They figure, oh, you're 30 and over. We need to get rid of that population. Okay, let's just hit deactivate, you know?
Were you there, Jen, when we were just discussing that the needles that go into your arm that break off and then dissolve? Did you hear that part?
No, I didn't hear that part. I was making coffee.
We were looking at these little patches, and you put them in your skin. You can get them delivered most likely by like Amazon, and you put it on, and it's like 10 needles, which break off and dissolve.
100, 10 by 10.
10 by 10. And they break off and dissolve in your skin. And then I started looking them up. And basically it says that these are the same things that have been known to cause tumors and also to attack and destroy the host, which is the people.
Yes,
and it's
right.
It's right there. And nobody reads it.
Can you imagine? I mean, they want to put not just nanotech within your body, but self-replicating nanotech, guys. It could just keep replicating forever.
Ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. So like they could like pass this off as like, so we have the CV pandemic, and this is a great way to get rid of that and all future coming pandemics, because like Boris just said, they can inject you with something into your bloodstream which disperses medicine. So let's say it notices your body gets sick, it disperses medicine, you don't get sick. So you break your leg, it starts dispersing calcium into your bone fragments and you heal much quicker. This is how, nothing new under the sun, this is what the man downstairs offer, eternal life, but here on earth. You don't want that. Let's see what else the Boris has to say about this.
It's really hard to listen to.
It is.
Neural interface technology. Neural interface technology is producing a new generation of cochlear implants, I think, of new tools that we acquired, but over which we, the human race, had the advantage, which we control. And that is not necessarily the case in the digital.
Did you just say over the human race, which we control?
Yeah, which he said won't be the case in the digital age, because whoever is controlling the digital realm, i.e. Lucifer, bearer of light, that guy, he'll have control over you.
May keep your secrets from your friends, from your parents, your children, your doctor, even your personal trainer. But it takes real effort to conceal your thoughts from Google.
That's exactly what I was saying yesterday. Imagine that, people. I don't know if anyone's had this happen to you, but it's all I wanted you to see from this. But imagine you're just chilling, right? And you think of something that you kind of want or need, and then it pops up as an ad on Facebook. How does that happen, people? And who's behind that technology? I don't think man may just sit there and operate it and merely just oversee it, but who's at the root of that? Who's hearing your thoughts?
Yeah, but
not in this dimension. The bad guy.
On another level too, he's expressing, how this nanotech works and how you can hide your secrets and your thoughts from these people.
Not from him.
You have to hide it from the nanotech, because the nanotech's in your fucking head. Oh,
exactly. It'll be programming you, and at the same time, it'll be monitoring your thoughts and throwing it back to the server for ultimate review from probably the dude downstairs.
And this is how they could do thought crimes, because if you even think about rebelling against the system, they will know that you're even thinking about it. And I remember that movie, what was it, with Tom Cruise?
Minority Report.
Yeah, where they were doing thought crimes there. If you're even thinking about plotting something, we'll know it. Okay, well, now your thoughts aren't even your own.
Well, here's my thought on it: is like the Creator, our Father God, He knows and thinks He knows everything. He knows your thoughts. He knows what's in your heart. He knows all that. Satan has been given power on earth while he has his moment to reign, and everything he does, he has to mimic. So he doesn't have the ability of doing that. In fact, it even talks about he has to walk around to and fro through earth and up and down or whatever. And that's why we had that show about where he might be actually sitting, because he has a location he hangs out at. So by doing this technology where he can implant obviously this is Satan technology we're all using here, that's how he'll have the capability of being like God on earth. And that's what he wants. So once again, you give your consent, and then you're locked in, and then he can, like that. We were just looking at it today. The album what is it? Alan Parsons Project. Jan, you remember The Eye in the Sky? That song? The cover is the Eye of Horus. So it's like they tell you right there that Satan's the eye in the sky that's watching us and trying to get us to do things his way.
Absolutely. And real quick, what Boris said kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. If you don't want to take this stuff, guys, if you don't want to take this update or the nanobots in your bloodstream that could disperse medicine upon the, anything being sick, well, you'll be involuntary aging and you'll be classified as a disease under the United States official transhumanist Bill of Rights. It's a real thing, people. This is not, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not some made up website. This is not a made up website, and human beings fit right in there, or genetically modified humans. What? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
And I start going back. Maybe I had this talk with you or not, but when I was a kid, they had two things you could make fun of because they actually had sections in the bookstores devoted to joke books, and one was lepers, and the other were Polish people. They call.
I remember you and me were on the phone about this. Go on, go for this.
So I started thinking about what do we know about lepers. The only thing I even know to this day was they had a disease. They lived in colonies, and parts of their bodies fell off. That's all I know. Well, when I think about it, what if they, like you just said, the transhumanist party is going to call a diseased people that don't take these updates? So maybe they just start writing us off as, oh, this is the diseased, whatever, anti-V colony or whatever they call it now. Just like those people that were lepers. Maybe there was, nothing wrong with them, but that his story changes it, makes it sound like they were this horrible, disgusting people that had to be isolated.
I like that. It's a good thought.
And if you go with the Agenda 21 map where it shows all these areas of the U.S. unlivable, well, maybe that's just unlivable by their standards. Maybe there's no electricity or whatever, Wi-Fi, and so everyone moves off to the FEMA camps because they need to, and they accept it, and they give their consent. They're not forced there. They're invited, and they go. So the rest of the place that they left is deemed uninhabitable. And if that's the case, if it is going down that way, well, let me live in the uninhabitable place and see how well I do. And you go ahead and leave me. And then everyone else will think we're dead or some kind of weird disease colony. That's what I think. Because if you're cut off from the rest of the internet of the world, you won't know what they're saying about you. I barely watch anything about news stories except what I see on Twitter or one of these shows. So, so I wouldn't know what they're saying. If I'm on a Facebook shaming page because I walk around barefaced, I'd never know. I could be on a dozen times for now, all I know now.
It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy, but all right. Do you guys want to take a break, or do you want to just take over for a sec? I just gotta get something to drink and use the bathroom. I know Jen just hopped in.
Well, we can take a break. I gotta go look for my cat. She's out back somewhere.
Out back again, causing mischief.
Yeah.
And then I sent you a few things so you can check them out. And then
Where'd you send me?
I think it was to your regular phone.
To my. Oh, you did. I did get a message. All right.
Okay. All right. I'll get some water.
Let me get these ads out of the way. You don't want that.
And if people start, dipping out, I can always start singing if that'll help. That might make more run.
Heart to heart with a ceiling fan, man.
That's what I'm going to be known for. That's it. Nothing else I've said. It's kind of funny.
Had that thought the other day too. For some reason, I was like, he's going to go down history for just that, and that's golden. Like, what did he bring to the table? Heart to heart with the ceiling fan, man. That's it. Oh man! But all right, guys, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We got a couple more things we want to get into. I want to start digging into the whole timeline thing. We'll rewatch that video, and I just got some old etchings that from a book or something. We'll check it out. We'll be right back.
the unseen zones not seen in between those without flesh or bone. Roam in the void, they avoid all detection. Interdimensional beings all connected. Angels and demons from spiritual realms engaged in a battle from heaven to hell. They dwell all around us and even inside some of those that invite what they call spirit guides. Enticed by Ouija boards, they seek guidance and think there's a secret to be enlightened. Little do they know what they just invited. A demonic presence has just resided in the days of Noah. All kinds of hybrids infiltrated the earth, but most were silent, wiped out by the flood. All these tyrants, bloodlines polluted by these ancient giants. Some men of renown, heroes of old, have now returned. Let the truth be told. They wear new disguises, Thoth and Isis are now aliens come to invite us and guide us. The fruit is ripened, it's so inviting. Evolve to a God enlightened, and don't be frightened, but I must ask why their ideas seem aligned with Lucifer's lie. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything, stalking their prey with original sin. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything, stalking their prey with original sin. Is it coincidence that all these incidents represent all the same thing the serpent said? Look at Genesis chapter 3 verse 6. It depicts exactly the same conflict. Feel this trick inflicted by the sick and wicked, invented, presented like a light transcendent, but it's dark demented. It just pretended, depending on beliefs, what you just expected. See how a rose has thorns and thistles? They hide among the truth to avoid the signal. They muddy the water with disinformation, persuading so many without a foundation. Some people like to listen to Ike and Sitchin, Jordan, Maxwell, and Tessarian. It seems these people are on the same mission. Deny what's Christian, seek secret wisdom. Tied to the lies in the movie zeitgeist. Lost, they deny the existence of Christ. I defy you to find any truth to the logic. Go ahead, just rewind it and pause it. Study their sources, they're all Masonic. A little Illuminati seem to be behind it. They know the public will buy any fraud that tries to deny the existence of God. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything, stalking their prey with original sin. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything, stalking their prey with original sin.
With Facebook Shops, your customers can easily browse and buy on Facebook.
All right, and just like that, we are back like nothing ever happened. All right, we still got 88 here in the chat, double eights. Shout out to that, I guess. A little toroidal field action. It's all about the way you present things, I guess. But I mentioned earlier I had some pictures or renditions or something I had earlier of seraphim angels, the winged bird-like angels or something. And when these two get back, we'll definitely look at that because they're very interesting. Someone was like, this is what angels actually look like. I'm like, no, these are what certain angels look like, the seraphim perhaps. And it's very interesting. There's a little show on Netflix called Blood of Zeus, and the adversary in that show was the seraphim. His name was Seraphim. He had a mark on his eye. He was missing an eye, and you had to knee before him, and you were offered the mark. It turns you into a demon, and you're ultimately against the god. You know what I'm saying? Very interesting concept for a TV show. A Netflix animated series. Definitely check that out. What's Shino's the greatest? Yeah, give me a shout on Facebook, bro. I think it's just Steve Richards, or is it my full name? I always forget. I don't even know how to check that. Let's see. Yeah, it's just Steve Richards. Definitely. I'll give you a shout if If you got some stuff you want to share, if you just want to check out the stuff on the wall, it's there. You won't be seeing me in groups for the next couple of weeks because, yet again, every time I make a video, ironically, and try to share it anywhere on the Facebooking platform, it gets me banned. Oh, man. We'll go through the chat real quick. We're waiting for these two to come back. It was a rather quick break, but we got Todd B, Colespiracy, Flat Jacks. We got Joe Dirt in the chat. Daryl Desa, what's up? What is up? Waters above. Roger, something. What's up? Vato Sodogos. F. Bill Gates says NH guy. What's going on, brother? Reconnect to natures. Absolutely. Good name. That's what we all need to do. Steve Finneran's still hanging out with us. What's going on, guys? Marika, I just saw you in there somewhere. What's going on? Shout out Marika. Well, the True Seeker, what's up? Long Dog, what's going on? Young Love 420, Rob the Truth. Phoenix Smithers, what's up? What is up, guys? I can't breathe. What's up? Oh, man. Funny names in here. Disciple of Messiah. That's not a funny name. What's up? That's a good name. Dylan Manuel. What's going on? Martin Ellen. A lot of people. We got 93 here right now. Not bad for a little Monday afternoon here on the East Coast. It's almost 4 o'clock. I'm going to be getting off sooner than later. Just to put that out there for anyone's joining. Might want to go back and check this from the beginning. Greetings from Cali, says Jose Nunez. What's up? Phil Cantu. Ryan Kohler. Just Sonia. Still hanging out with us. What's up? I appreciate all you guys in the chat. I do. I really do. But all right, let me just get this going real quick. Throw that in there. And over time, I am going to try to start up a web page because I know YouTube's going down. So I did start a Patreon and a PayPal for anyone to donate there. So we're going to try to get off this, and maybe even if we don't get our own website, definitely a tribute to others who have good websites and get us on back there. You got London's watching, so that's good. Everyone in London, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. LS, much love from the Carolinas. I gotta make my way down there sooner or later. I've always wanted to hang out in the Carolinas, in the Virginia hills. Maybe make our way up to West Virginia.
Hey, Steve.
What's up, buddy?
I don't know. We all went on break, and there's like at least 10 more people here, so whatever.
yeah, it's all good.
You know, those numbers are so garbage. We know that now. Because, like, I did that stream with you and Dave, Trinity 4, and at the time, I think
that was a beautiful stream, by the way. We got to do that again, but keep going.
And anybody that hasn't seen it, you have to watch it.
You have to. I have to rewatch it because I learned so much in that stream. I felt like a little kid at a candy store. I'm like, ooh, Dave said this. I'm like, ooh, Dave said that.
but at the time, it said we had around, I don't know, 200 people watching. And as soon as that 2.5-hour stream ended, it said it had been viewed over almost 500-600 times. And the math doesn't work unless like 200 people clicked in and out of it a bunch of times. You know what I mean? It didn't make any sense.
Which I highly doubt. I highly doubt that.
Yeah. So yeah, it had 500 views or 500 to 600 views within the first minute of it ending.
You know what? It's funny. I was live on my mobile the other day, and the second I ended it, I only had maybe maximum 50, 60 people watching. It said 438 people have viewed this stream.
Yeah, exactly.
What? And then I checked, but it was weird. I checked the views when it finally uploaded and published after. It was like 312, which still doesn't add up to 60 people live for 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. I just was on my very first show with Brian. I did on my own D Live channel. If anyone hasn't seen it, it was fun because you can talk about anything there. We even talked about that event that happened where it's like some buildings fell over, and we got to completely open and talk about whatever we wanted. I was able to say the V word and yelled it out loud. It's like we can talk about anything. And the fact that here's a channel. I've never done a video. I didn't even know how to work it before Brian helped me explain it like an hour before we went live or so. And I had 300 people watching me there. And it's like, that makes no sense. Because at the time I had 31 subscribers. And by the time he got done promoting, I had, I think 120. But there was 300 people watching it. So, you know what I mean? The numbers just don't add up when you come back to YouTube where I have over 1,500 subscribers and like no one's watching, just like you. I mean, you've got way more subscribers. What do you have? You've got like almost 2,500, and yet, your numbers go down it's all nonsense numbers. But thanks everyone for being here after I said all that.
Absolutely. Thanks everyone for always being here, dude. Even the day ones where we had like 20 people, 20 views, 3-4 people in the chat. I see some of you in here all the time. Salted Cedar, couple of Cold Steel Truth. I haven't seen him in a while. I kind of miss my buddy. He always had some good stuff in the chat. Cold Steel, if you're hearing this at some point, hit me up, brother. I miss it.
And Roger might be making a joke, but if he doesn't know what some things you can't talk about on YouTube, so you have to go all.
No, yeah, it was a very interesting Tuesday morning in 2011, around September, possibly the second week. But
wake me up when September ends.
7 buildings actually came down that day in our new reality, but
yeah, and the Pentagon and a whole bunch of things. So I'm sure you figured it out. If you weren't joking, that's what we're talking about. But you can't talk about that or things get taken down. It's nuts. Welcome to the freedom of America. There is none.
Yeah, it's only a free country if you pay. Imagine that.
Okay, it was a joke. Well, there you go.
I know. I'm just messing.
Well, I never know though. Sometimes because we had new people on that show last night with Brian, and it was funny. We were I don't even understand how this works. We were trending D Live, so some gamer might have come on and maybe got awoke last night. It's kind of cool. So there's always new people learning it that are jumping in.
Absolutely.
That's a really creepy picture.
This is a rendition of what a seraphim angel is. The winged angels.
See, I don't see it.
The dragoness angels.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
Well, I never said they were good angels.
Yeah.
I never said they were good angels. I said they were dragon wing feathered ones.
Well, what's going on there? Did they just drop some human into the ocean? Did you see that below them?
I did, dude. Let's go back to that. Oh, look at that. Oh, now we're all the way out of it. There he is. Maybe this is what's picking people up and effing with them, because there's a lot of UFO stories. You know what I'm saying? Abduction. I don't think they're abductions. I think they're interdimensional encounters.
Well, if you can ever find a copy of that book about Operation Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam, one of the things he said, and I have some of it in like phase 4, that whole thing about the alien abductions. They even have it on video games. They used to play a fun video game where you could pick up people and cows.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So the fact that they put that into our consciousness for so long, the aliens use these beams. So now if they do have some technology that can draw people up in the air, well, for the people they want to convince of the rapture, all they got to do is just, drag about a dozen people out of a town in front of a bunch of other people. And there you go. They're all freaking out. They get sapped. You know what I mean?
Freaking out, dude. Right. And I can't help but notice like the little pyramid diamond shape in the middle, and for someone to just draw this, you must have seen some shit like in a dream or a vision, or you don't just wake up and draw things like this or this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all set, dude. I'm all set. That seems like a giant,
What's that thing on its face? Like,
I don't know, but I've seen it before, dude. I don't know where, but I've seen all this.
They have it on the bottom of axes. The executioner's axe looks similar to that too.
Yes, dude. Very strange, dude, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's a rendition of a seraphim angel. Here's another one, you know? Come
Yeah,
on.
like you say, if I saw that doesn't look good. Whatever.
No. If you're just walking down the street and something like this pops up, run. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to big body it. I ain't afraid of you. Well, it might just eat you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all set with that.
Yeah,
That's how we're gonna go down. I guess that's how we're gonna go down. But wow, I'm really not looking forward to anything like this, you know? That's kind of interesting. But this one, I don't care. This is the one that freaks me out. Like, cause I don't know, dude.
Here, I found it on this guy's writing. It says step 4 has 3 parts. Step 4 is making humanity think an alien invasion is about to occur at every major city, making the Christians think the rapture is about to happen, a mixture of electronic and supernatural forces, allowing the supernatural forces to travel through fiber optics, coax, and power telephone lines to penetrate all electronic equipment appliances. They will all have the special microchip installed, making chaos break out, and people will finally be willing or desperate to accept NWO. The techniques used in the 4th step are exactly the same used in the past in the USSR to force the people to accept communism. A device has apparently already been perfected that will lift an enormous number of people, as in Rapture. UFO abductions are tests of this device. So, and it also brings up that they believe the psychological preparation has already been made, having claimed that 2001: A Space Odyssey, Star Wars, and Star Trek involved the invasion from space and all nations coming together. And Jurassic Park has the evolution in order to make people think that God's words are lies. So, you know, and the fact that they've been dropping monoliths everywhere too, just to like make everyone start, you know, looking at towards alien stuff. It seems like that's in our future, which is really funny because when it comes, those of us here will just kind of like go, whatever. Whereas the rest of the world's going to start freaking out.
Right. And something that me and Brian Stavely have always shot about is, you know, that they've gotten us truthers, you know, very familiar with the idea of Project Bluebeam. So if an event does happen in broad daylight or even at night in the sky, everyone, not everyone, but at least 80% of them will have no root in Jesus Christ. A lot of the truth community doesn't for some reason. I don't know, guys, wake up. They're just going to write it off as Bluebeam. And I'm going to be like, no. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place that day because some of it could be Bluebeam, but the beings are not going to be Bluebeam. No, the vessels could be, but you know what I'm saying?
And you get to be one of those lucky people that get taken up by this Project Bluebeam. The anal probing would be the least of your worries, I would say.
Yeah, no doubt. Sorry, I was taking a chief there. And Jen, you're muted. I don't know if you're trying to talk over there. You're muted. I got you. I muted you. I undid you.
Okay, so I was listening to a show the other night.
Real quick, did you see those angel renditions?
No.
No. All right, you keep talking. I'm just going to show them. They're seraphim angels. You know what those are, right? Yeah, those awesome winged ones that look like birds and dragons. Look at that.
I think it was wow.
The rendition. Someone just drew that for fun, you know.
That's crazy looking.
Right. I think he might have been this guy. You know what I'm saying? Or
so you know how we hear about the rapture, how people are supposed to be taken up into heaven, and people think that, you know, is it literal? Is it a metaphor? Are people really going to just start floating up to the sky? You'll see drawings of the rapture with people floating up into the sky and stuff. I think on John Levy's channel, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was his channel. They were talking about, or he was talking about how there's going to be a pole shift, like these events that take place. Now, we used to think a pole shift on a globe, that the whole globe was going to turn upside down. At least that's what I thought back in the day when we used to talk about pole shift. Was a big.
I got a new, keep
going.
going.
What it is the magnetic field of our torus field of the plane at some point reverses the magnetism or whatever. And for a period of time, I don't know how long this time is, but things are like kind of like almost like there's no density and people could float up and get sucked up. And then there was like these old writings talking about how people would tie themselves off to a rock or something. It'd have to be like some sort of organic material, like a rock or something. But there's a sucking effect that takes place when the field shifts. And, you know, if you're not anchored, you could get sucked up. Now, when I heard that, I immediately pictured the rapture with people going up. And so if there was an X Factor event, maybe due to a pole shift, the cyclical nature of this plane that we're on, maybe that's what they were depicting as like a rapture of some sort. I don't know. Just thought I'd throw it out there.
Oh, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. It's very interesting, you know.
Yeah, John Levy has some good stuff on his channel.
We've got some great stuff on his channel. I like the stuff he has.
I
First
sent you
I ever saw with the mud floods, that John Levy channel. Or Levi.
Levi.
I say Levy, but whatever.
I go with Levi. Levi's. Huh? No one knows that song.
Oh, Ceiling Fan. I was cracking up laughing listening to you do your song to that heavy metal thing.
Oh, my Ozzy.
That was awesome, dude. My husband's like, he's watching something on his computer, and I got my earbuds in. I'm cracking up laughing. He's like, what are you laughing at? I was like, Ceiling Fan, man.
The beauty of my song is like there's no lyrics. I only have like 5, so it's really easy. I've proved that any idiot can be a singer. It doesn't matter what you sing.
Yeah.
But I think one of the funniest things Owen Benjamin does is he does that. What's that one singer that he does where he because the guy never even makes words. He just makes noises. I can't do it. I'll think of it. But yeah, it's that thing. You can be a famous musician without even knowing. Be able to sing. I mean, half the time we didn't even know what the Stones were singing, you know?
Yeah. Steve, I sent you something in your text messages. It has to do with what you were talking about earlier. Let me see here. It's a Pinterest picture of some grid systems with the lawns incorporated into it. How they have these causeways that have nothing but water and like a line of trees, and then the gardens, and then the nodal point of whatever's on the motherboard and stuff.
Where well, hold on. You sent me something, Ceiling Fan. You said you sent me an article? I don't have an article.
Oh no, I just sent the thing I was reading about Project Blooming. I sent it to you in your text or whatever. You don't even have to read it now. I was just reading from it.
Oh, okay. I got the pictures you sent me. You actually sent me those yesterday. So I got those over here on my laptop already.
Okay.
You want to start with step 1 and then we'll go 2 and 3, or?
Oh no, I mean if you want to go over them, that's basically what I was reading off of. I went to 4 when I was just reading it. So
What exactly is this again? So
that guy that wrote this book, Operation or Project Bluebeam, like the actual book, you can't find it anywhere. And he and his partner that was doing this, they're both dead of heart attacks apparently.
You were reading this, yes.
Yeah.
The new discoveries, yep.
Yeah. The book is still available, I guess, on Amazon, but who knows? It's Kindle, so they can write whatever you want. I find that fascinating. If I wrote a book and you've never read it, and then there was another version that's a computer version, you wouldn't know if it's the same book,
Absolutely. And this is a picture you sent me before I forgot to share. Yeah, who's going to flatten this curve, buddy? They don't care about those curves.
No.
They don't want to talk about those.
And that one that's really tiny writing, the destruction and permanent closure of small businesses, because it's happening right now. It's happening in my small town.
Oh yeah, it's permanent for sure. These stores can't afford to stay open or reopen or anything. They're literally killing the middle class business owner, and it's all part of the plan for sure.
And somebody did say yes. It was Eddie Vedder. Yes, whoever said that.
That's the plan, baby.
Vividness. Yes.
Real quick, we could just talk over this, but I was just going through some old videos on my phone today, and it's just that whatever they were calling Venus last year, it's just unbelievable how I was catching that in the night sky every night, and before I went to work, Venus was somehow up there. That disc, whatever it is, the pulsating disc. Stars were never this visible before, guys. I don't know. I took this maybe 5-6 months ago.
And we've said this before. Without my glasses, I can't see across the room, but yet I can see like Sirius and a bunch of other planets with the naked eye.
Look at that.
You know what else gets me too is that people are trying to say that this is an out of focus star.
Give me a break, dude.
Yeah. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You could see the camera focuses.
I could see it doing this with my naked eye. I was just happy the camera picked it up.
Yeah, anyone can do that
pulsating.
now with just like almost regular phones. It's pretty wild. That's how close.
It's an iPhone 8.
Yep.
There's a 10 zoom. That's it. You don't. It's crazy. Look at this one. Barely got picked up, but dude, look at that. Blue, green, all these pictures. You know, all the colors. What is that, dude? That is just nuts. This one always blew me away. Like, what is that, dude? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just pulsating away like it's no one's business.
I had a video I took. I was videoing one of these stars, and I played Christian Knapp's song, and I swear it's like almost dancing to it. It's like pulsating and stuff. It's trippy.
They're a lot closer than we all think.
Yeah, well, those are the watchers.
Look at the schematics. You know, this is an iPhone 8. You can't get the full detail, but there's a circle and a circle and a circle and a circle. You know, and it's just dancing around up there.
See, what I think is happening too is because whatever this veil or whatever was covering our eyes, we're allowed to see better. If anyone's ever taken any camera, it doesn't matter what camera, they're all the same. It seems. If you say like a plane's flying by, and you take a picture of it, it always looks way farther away than it does to your naked eye. There's something in it, whatever the refraction does or whatever, that makes it look small or farther away. So my thought is the stars to me seem way farther away. So either this torus field is enclosing on itself and they're actually moving closer, or potentially they've always been right there in the top of the firmament, only to us it looked farther away. And if you're a normie, they still look far away. But if your eyes have been unveiled, they actually appear the way they should, and they take away that lens, and you're, whoa, it's right there. It's not 10 billion miles away. Because that goes along with their thing trying to make God non-existent, and we're in a spinning ball flying.
Yeah.
If they make
meaningless speck of dust.
Yeah. So if the stars are real far away, that makes sense.
Absolutely. And speak real quick, Larry, like, yeah, I'm definitely going to try to get my hands on a P900 sooner than later for sure, because I definitely want to see what these stars are doing straight up. And I was talking with someone yesterday. They're like, why would you even buy that? Wouldn't you rather buy like a telescope? I'm like, not really, seeing as they haven't updated the schematics of telescopes for 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? They don't get any better. But with the P900, I could zoom right into that star, you know, somehow, no problem. It's crazy, dude. It's very crazy, man. And like you were saying before, Ceiling Fan, me and Jen have theorized this many times over, that if this is just a giant toroidal field and we're here in the level middle where the 2 8s or the 8s intersect, and you know, we're in that little flat surface there. If everything on top is coming down, that means everything downstairs is probably coming up as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that works. Yep.
It's funny how that works. Exactly. Just like that, Jen. And I feel the stars haven't ever been this close. I feel like they've gotten closer. I don't know if they're getting closer now, but they've gotten closer. And I mean, I could see stars out when the sun's like just setting, like it's not even over the edge yet, and there's stars in like not even just the eastern sky when you kind of expect them to be where it's most dark, but in the western sky, right above your head, everywhere. There's these little stars that are popping up, and I theorize those ones are just inside of the water, you know. The firmament's just the water from the waters.
The fact that there's supposed to be these wandering stars, was there 7 or so or 8, and that's
2 of them are about to make up with each other.
That's the planets, because Earth isn't a planet; it's where we live, and everything else is the firmament. So the wandering stars, they're stuck in there, and there's one that they supposedly say is Mars, which is, you know what that is. You guys know all the history behind Mars, and it's red. And it's freaking angry. Whenever I look up at that thing, and I swear it's getting closer, and it just kind of like
it's red and angry, right, dude? It's crazy. And I keep looking at that thing. I'm like, yo, whatever that thing is, like F you know, because
you know what I say? I go, wonder what the hell you did to get stuck in there, and you're so damn angry. Well, sucks to be you.
Really, we could feel their anger almost, dude. It's crazy.
Hey, God got us. So, you know what? That star won't even scare me. First of all, I know he's jammed up there. He can't do anything right now. If he ever does get released, I'm not worried about him either. You got 1 to 2 options. God's got your back, and you can take that sucker out, or go out in a burst of flames fighting in his name. Go for it. You can't.
Right. And that's the ultimate way, dude. If you go down for standing up for something you wholeheartedly believe in, it just happens to be God, Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, the Word, I feel like that's the ultimate punch your ticket upstairs,
You know how
that might be the cleanse all your sins, and it also teaches you the exact same thing that Jesus taught us. You don't come here and update yourself. You don't come here and alter your body, alter your DNA. Fuck, he didn't even get tattoos or piercings. You know what I'm saying? You just come as a man and you die as a man. No alterations. That's it. But die as a man means you gotta die. If you get this little update, not the one right now, not the Pfizer that's gonna just F everyone up. I'm talking about the one that's gonna go into your bloodstream and release nanoparticulates that'll disperse medicines when they feel the need to. When that comes around, there's going to be a whole lot of us that are going to be considered classified as diseases.
Yep, diseases.
Involuntary aging. That also means dying.
Men will seek death, and it will flee them.
Exactly. That'll be them. That'll be them.
If they do have lines for like cutting your heads off, you and I have joked like we're gonna try to like Jex to get ahead of the line. You and I'll fight over who goes first.
Right.
Like if
it'd be ultimately showing these people have no fear. That is not the end. It is here in this crappy realm. It's run by the man downstairs. He said, but Jesus. He said to Jesus, not to some dude on the street, bow to me and I'll give you the kingdoms of my earth. Not my earth, like that's a little, that's crazy, bro. And yet here we all are. Yeah. Here we all are thinking that this is, God created this place, but I don't think he oversees everything. But the man who's calling the shots right now in the physical that are making these things happen, lockdowns, V rollouts, abortions for people up to the birth, that's the dude downstairs calling those shots. I'm just saying, and if you come as a man and you die as a man, you show these people have no fear. You can die here and move on. And if you don't, knowing you try to do everything, try to reverse it, that's enough for me, at least,
And you know what? Like I said, none of us knows. There are some people that even says biblically that, won't see death. So who knows? But if we do see death, I can't think of a better way to go out with my last words, thanking God and Jesus. I mean, who wouldn't want to show up there and be like, yeah, see what I did there? He's like, yeah, I get you.
Right.
I heard you.
Absolutely. And with that being said, let's get in this little timeline deception real quick too, Ceiling Fan, while we got a little time left. So that's probably gonna wrap this up at maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock ish. But we might keep going. I don't know. I don't have anything lined up for the rest of the day. But
would you get any strikes if you played that little clip of Owen singing his Pearl Jam? Because it's funny as heck.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. I do remember him doing that one. That is good. He just makes all the noises. Yeah.
It doesn't say any words, That's how that song is. And back in the day, we're all like, wow, that's such an amazing singer and songwriter. No, there's no words. See, I'm just as Eddie Vedder.
It's Yellow Ledbetter, I think. Yellow Ledbetter.
Yeah. You guys can look it up on the internet. It's really funny if you haven't seen it. But yeah, I'm just as good as Eddie Vedder. So there.
That's funny. All right. I don't know if you saw this yet, Jen. Did you get a chance to check this video out yet?
Yeah. I have to listen to it again and again because it's so amazing.
Of course.
Not let it kick in and wrap around my brain and digest it all and see how it fits into everything. And I'm still blown away by it.
Yeah. It's rather applicable, rather applicable.
But where again, like when Brian did the no planes and even his own people kind of shunned him a little bit. This is kind of outside the box. There's a lot of people that don't like when I bring this up, the fact that I think we're farther along the book. I mean, my mind right now, I can be wrong, obviously, about everything. But right now, everything to me is lining up like we've passed tribulations. We've passed 1,000 years of Christ, and we're in the short season of Satan. Right.
We're the guys who made the wrong choice the first time. And it looks like we're about to repeat ourselves again. Again, as a general population speaking.
Yeah, because
I've been telling people, I'm like, hey, if this is the second chance, I'm like, we're all not doing too well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Well, there's a real famous thing about the oil lamps, and Christ is coming, and they got to get their oil lamps ready, and some of the ladies don't because they partied all night, and then all of a sudden he shows up, and the ones that have their oil lamps filled, they take off, and the other ones are like, hey, give us some oil so we can come. They're like, no, we need everything we have. Go get your own. By the time they go and get oil and come back, it's over. They lost it out, and he's gone. And so I talked to Steve about this. Maybe we're those people because maybe we were partying. Jesus came and went. We went, oh shit, and now this is our second chance, the short season now.
Absolutely, I like that theory, and
it matches up with your melted buildings, because what kind of war, massive scale all over the world, would have caused all that destruction other than maybe tribulations? Like he says, nothing's ever been like it or before or since. And then you got the dark ages where nothing.
You got, like you said before, you have Satan, the dragon, fire, melting, and like I was saying before, Jen, you weren't here for this, but if Lucifer, Leviathan, the great dragon, that old serpent, the devil, made himself, physical here in the flesh and started breathing fire out of his mouth, I'm sure it wouldn't just be fire as we know it. I'm fucking certain it would probably be something more along the lines of the purest sulfur ever found on earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's one of those fires where it happens and it just don't go out until whatever, you know what I'm saying? Till it's all melted away,
And then you add to it, there's 1,000 years missing of our history. We know that.
I like this part. You tell them hard here.
Right? You got 1,000 years of our history missing. At the same time, Jesus's reign on earth would have been 1,000 years. And all those amazing castles and structures and stuff, maybe they were built in homage to the 1,000-year reign of Christ. And then
the year of our Lord.
Right? And then as soon as they all take off, because they got to go, so the rest of us that are still here got to figure it out too, right? Because they already figured it out. So the first thing Satan would do is destroy all that technology and buildings, so that way we wouldn't see that it happened. Turn us back to these retarded people that don't know how to do anything.
Right, they just dump this off in these major cities that are just dirt roads and one building left,
Right. So that leads me
pocket
back
of survival.
And that also leads back to the orphan trains, how you just phrased.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have to tell you this, though. This correlates with what we're talking about. I said probably a couple of live streams ago, ever since I learned about the melted building thing, whenever I do watch a show, and I've been watching Yellowstone, if anybody hasn't seen it, it's pretty good. But I told you guys, I said, they're always showing the mountains in the background. Like, they'll start scenes off with the mountains. And, it's always like they'll pan up to the mountains and stuff. It's almost like all these different movies and things we used to watch. The landscape was always in our face to like a massive extent, like overly done and stuff. Now when I see these, but the point is that it's like the first or second episode in the first season, and I got it on video. Kevin Costner's sitting at his desk, and he just happens to be looking through old photos. He's only got 2 black and white photos in his hand, and guess what one of them is? I almost shit myself when I saw this the other day. It was the fucking orphan train picture that we show everybody with all the orphans all over it. He's holding it in his hand. He's not talking to anybody. There's no reason why that fucking picture should be in his hand, okay? It's like as if it was an original picture even. It was like a photograph, holding it in his hand, and he's like pondering the past or something. I have no clue how this picture with the orphans even fits into the whole dialogue of the rest of the script, because I watched it a few times. It was only yesterday that I picked up that little part right there. I really focused on what he was looking at, and I'm like, that's a fucking orphan train. So then you got the mountains in the background and the orphan trains going on in this show, and it was just like, it just verified for me that they know, and they're kind of telling us hidden away in these shows like this as well, because there's no reason why he should have had that picture in his hand, and they showed it on purpose. They panned into it and panned away from it on purpose.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how everything's upside down and backwards. So if the Dark Ages, where nothing happened for like 1,000 years, whatever it was, that lines up with if it was Jesus on earth. I mean, it would be glorious. So of course Satan would want to erase that from history. I mean, there's so many things that seem to connect to this, and the melted buildings, it to me was the thing that's really put me over the edge on it. So, but at the end of the day, the people that don't want to see it that way, that's fine, because if we're at the beginning of tribulations, you better armor up with God. And if we're at the past all that, and we're at the beginning of the short season of Satan, well, you better armor up with God. So it doesn't really matter where we are in the book. I just think, to me, it's going to help me navigate it a little bit better. But, I could be completely wrong, too. Sometimes I feel like those guys with Job, and they're all sitting there lamenting, trying to figure out what happened to him. And after about, I don't know how many pages, finally God comes in and goes, who the hell are you guys? You weren't there when I did all this. You don't know anything. And that's how I feel. It's like up there right now, he's sitting there listening, going, oh, man, these three don't know shit.
Well,
right, just shaking his head like, you're close.
Yeah. Oh, you were right there. Oh, no. Okay.
I find it interesting that the elites have changed the timeline. They added 1,000 years, and they had us believing that, we're in the beginning part of Revelation. And we always said that it's like almost like they're using it as a playbook. They're acting out Revelations, and, this is happening and that's happening, and the plague and the crown and all this stuff, the white horse. Anyway, all that's already happened. But they have us thinking that this is stuff that's going to come. And I think that's an interesting way of looking at it. It's making it look like they're playing it out for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To keep us distracted away from the timeline.
And of course, at the same time, Lucifer, he's got to do everything his own way. So he's probably going to artificially or even just do some stuff here in the physical that would line up with biblical prophecy to make us look like and think like that or the seals are being opened when they're just artificially being done, which will have implications and repercussions. Don't worry. But I think it's all been done already. Like, oh man, what was the Great Madrid? What was that? You know what I'm saying? Or the New Madrid, that earthquake that rocked America.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous, bro. I wonder what happened.
But he tries to copy everything God does. So same thing. Like if all that went down and he gets to do another shot at us because he gets released now, so he's gonna just mimic everything he saw and convince people that are left. It's happening.
Absolutely, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, I'm gonna hit play with this. Okay.
Well, yeah, 1 second. What I'm trying to figure is what part of the little season that we are actually in. Are we already 170 years into it? Or are we just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're on the tail end of this little season.
Yeah, this is where people got to just this is why I've been getting a little aggressive with people lately on social media. I'm like, hey, like what Mike from Awakened Saints got the best analogy. We're trying to tell you your house is on fire, and if the fireman ain't coming, you know what I'm saying? Like get out of your house. It's about to fall down, and they're just sitting in there. Trump's coming, It's like, no, he's not. It's like, this is the end, and if this is the second, if we are participants in the second resurrection, the people who really effed up in real life, and we're getting our second shot now, I don't think we're doing a good job. Maybe we're getting back on the right path now, but I mean, 25 years old, good 19 years of my life were not lived the right way. You know what I'm saying? Not even close, bro. Even the parts I was in Christian school for, we didn't want to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything, dude, everything.
I've been studying this quite a bit, and because somebody asked on a stream with Baldini the other night, well, if Christ paid for your sins, can't we just do whatever we want, kind of thing? And he's like, no, you're not getting it. So he paid your life. That debt has been paid by his life and death. So after that, now that he exists, and God exists, then you got to act like the way you're supposed to, because anything from here on out that you do that indebts you to somebody else, rob, steal, lie, deceit, whatever you do, that's on you, and you're going to have to pay for that. And the things I've been reading, it says you're not going to go unscathed, not any one of us. So what do? Since I figured this out, I'm doing everything I can to balance the scale the other way, so that way when God's like, so what the fuck was you thinking here? I'll be like, yeah, but you see what I did last week? And did you hear the Ceiling Fan Man song? Yeah, what about that?
Right.
You got to come up with stuff to try to negate your debt. You want to leave this world, this plane, this whatever, this existence we have with no debt. Don't be indebted to anyone. I know it's changed. It used to be trespass, but let's use their words now. Debt. Don't have any debt with anyone. And how do you do that? You just give to them. You turn the cheek, you give them the coat, whatever it takes to to get out of here without any any debt to you. You know,
Just help others. That's it, dude.
take no shit, but cause no harm. So there.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And something else people gotta really take note on too. We need to be gentle as doves, but also wise as serpents. Sit back, watch it, observe it, learn it, understand it. Don't just go off your knee-jerk reaction, wise as serpents. Don't be a serpent, be wise as that old serpent, the devil. Keep your eyes open, know that there's a great game at play. It's a game for you.
And also by being wise, like you're wise to their lies and deception. You're wise.
Exactly. Your eyes are open. If you're wise, your eyes are open. You know what I'm saying?
They're shady motherfuckers, these serpents.
They hang out in the dark.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Their whole life.
And Ceiling Fan Man's bringing the other part of the argument. Be gentle as a dove, give to others. Be helpful, I mean, almost
everything coming from the other side is anger, fear, hate, all that stuff.
Yes.
You can't fight it with the same. You can't get mad at Kill Gates and say, I'm going to murder the guy. What you do is you send it back with love. That's what Jesus and God teaches you. You figure a way that you can kill them with kindness and make it, don't live in their world, live in God's world.
Absolutely. And even on like a personal level, let's say there's someone at your job that you don't quite like, and that's about, 70% of the people at my job. I don't just let them drown when we get busy or the rush comes in. You got to help them out because it's only gonna, what's it called, affect you negatively if they go down in flames, because then they're all behind, then everything's behind, and then there's cold food, and you know what I'm saying? So even on a personal level, say there's some you don't quite like, don't try to, I'm not saying give them a shot, but I'm just saying, like, do unto them as you want unto you, and maybe you can reverse the ties, at least have a mutual bond between people. There's a lot of people I don't get along with, but personality wise, you don't have to agree with these people, but at least, you know what I'm saying? It's just hard. It's just hard to be with these people in the same room. They have these thoughts, but at the same time, if you have to deal with these people at work or a public affair, an event or something, don't just be that person who just isolates yourself because you know what I'm saying? Like, try to get in there and just beat whatever they bring to you with positivity and vibes and all that good stuff. And it's actually 4:20, so let's hit play and I'm going to take a dab. It's only appropriate, right?
Sounds right.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll go over the timeline I've created, which I now believe to be a more accurate representation of human history and our place within it. This timeline will portray an interpretation of biblical eschatology called preterism. Preterism is defined by the idea that all or most biblical prophecies have already been fulfilled, which includes the tribulation and the second coming of Christ. The vast majority of modern-day preterists have mainly come to this conclusion based on scriptural and historical evidence and aren't yet aware of the large amount of additional evidence compiled by the alternative history community. By combining all of this data together, I believe a very sound case is made for the timeline deception theory. So let's get into the first slide. I'll be unveiling parts of the timeline as we go. I'll try not to get into too much detail along the way, as every little part can be dissected and made into its own video, so I'll try to be as generalized as possible. There may be an updated version in the future as new information comes to light.
Hey, Steve.
So the first major event in human history.
I just wanted to say to the chat or anyone watching, if you find some interesting things in this, which again I found fascinating, please go to this gal's channel and let her know. I've been letting her know we've been talking about her on different shows, but please let her know you heard it on this show or something, because it's good for her to get more subscribers and also know that her work's not being lost in the streams. It's being found and people are checking it out. So just that was it, my little commercial. And I don't know anything about this person other than I find her information fascinating. And if there's people in the chat that don't agree, that's fine. Take the meat and spit out the bones. But it's a very interesting theory. So that was all.
No, it is. It is. It's strong too. It's very strong and compelling.
is of course the creation of the first humans, Adam and Eve. It seems like the Earth itself is probably older than this event. However, we can say that our history as human beings on the Earth begins with Adam and Eve. This part of the timeline is when most events of the Bible took place. I'm not sure how many years this is, but if mankind is 6,000 years old, a figure that has been extrapolated from genealogy records in the Bible, then this portion of history may be approximately 5,000 years. I'm not completely sure about how truly accurate that number is, but it's not that important right now. I won't be adding any biblical events to this part of the timeline. Instead, I'll only be characterizing this period in time by the fact that Satan was free to roam the earth. The next part of the timeline is the birth of Jesus, and 33 years later, the next major event occurs, which is his death and subsequent resurrection. Now we get to the portion that radically departs from the timeline of human history that most believe. Here we have the Great Tribulation kicking off just 30 years after the death of Jesus. This event, that most people believe to be right around the corner today, appears to be well into our past. When we read the New Testament with a new mindset, it becomes clear that Jesus repeatedly told his disciples.
And think about this, people, when she says this. Think about this. It's repeated in multiple books. They wouldn't put this in multiple books if it wasn't important.
That the events known as the Great Tribulation would be happening within their lifetimes and not 2,000 years in the future. Here are a few key verses. In Matthew, Jesus said, "Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." Again Jesus said, "But I tell you truly, there are some standing here who shall not taste death till they see the kingdom of God." And in Matthew, after Jesus describes the tribulation and its end, he goes on to say, "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled." The Great Tribulation and the Battle of Armageddon, events in our history that were too big to sweep under the rug, are disguised in our history books as the fall of the Roman Empire, culminating in the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD. Of course, the dates we are given for these events are out of order, which is to purposely deceive us. We are told that the fall of the Roman Empire gradually happened over the course of hundreds of years, when in reality, most or perhaps even all of it may have happened quickly in Jesus' day and culminated in the tribulation. If you're aware of how severely our historical record has been tampered with, then this shouldn't sound too outlandish. So where was the mysterious figure known as the Antichrist in all of this? Well, there seems to be plenty of evidence already compiled by even mainstream sources indicating that Emperor Nero fits the bill of the Antichrist described in Revelation. A quick internet search will yield numerous sources that have already correlated the biblical figure known.
I saw a picture the other day of Trump, so a certain way he was standing and everything, and he looked like that first painting she had up.
He did, yo. I
Yeah.
saw that too.
I
It
was
is
like,
strange.
that's Nero!
That's very strange.
Which one now?
The one we just had on, this guy who was probably the Antichrist, according to the
Nero, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, it could be reincarnated into Don Don today with the face he has and
Yeah, remember
outing and whatnot.
what was Trumpster? Was like some
Yes, exactly. And I got to wrap this up when we finish this video, okay, guys?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
All right, just want to let you know.
Internet search will yield numerous sources that have already correlated the biblical figure known as the Antichrist to the historical figure known as Emperor Nero. I'll probably make a more detailed video about this someday, but in the meantime, you should have no trouble finding resources that back up this claim. As most of us already know, the tribulation is a horrible calamity that lasts 7 years, where an Antichrist figure rises up and deceives many while unmercilessly persecuting those who refuse to submit to him and choose Jesus Christ. At the end of the tribulation, Jesus comes down out of heaven, an event that is known as the Second Coming. Satan, the Antichrist, and the kings of the earth briefly try to go to war with Jesus, but they are immediately defeated. Satan and the Antichrist are sent to hell, and all of the mortals who were on the side of evil were killed by the sword of Jesus.
Pause it.
The people who believe...
You can see right there the the cathedral in the painting and everything, which is all the architecture that we see today.
Exactly.
It is time, yeah.
Look who's in front of them all, the angels, perhaps. You know what I'm saying? So, but over here, look at all these destroyed buildings. Look who's destroying them. The dude with the pitchfork and the dragon, perhaps, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
So where did this
We're on
come
the side
from? Someone painted that from something.
From
Was that a
something.
dream they
Yeah.
had, or did they witness something?
I don't know, Rich. It's crazy. Look at all the brick foundations.
Yeah.
Because like you
We're
can read
killed
the
by
Bible stories and not have this idea in your head exactly as pictured here with those, you know, whatever the Notre Dame buildings and then the you know goat people and you know that's
exactly, because if you look at what we're taught about back in Jesus's time, it was just like, you know, mud huts and you know, who knows what dirt and you know these little wooden modest houses and stuff like that. And why wouldn't the people back then who painted this picture think of it the same way? No, they're portraying it like as if this is in medieval times or whatever, Gothic, whatever you call it.
by the sword of Jesus. The people who believed in Christ but survived the tribulation will continue forward in their natural bodies into what is called the Messianic reign or millennial kingdom of Christ. Now that everyone has been sorted out, what immediately follows is an event called the first resurrection. This is where all of those who believed in Christ and died during the short time between Jesus' ministry and the end of the tribulation are resurrected and given new bodies. This includes martyrs and all others who died of any other cause, even before the tribulation started. In 1 Thessalonians,
because see that's how I figured. Like all of our ancestors that had to go through the Pharaoh days and all that garbage that they had to deal with, and the people that died and all that. Why don't they get a party? Maybe this was their party. Maybe it was like, you know, halftime at the, what is it? Not Super Bowl. If you change it, it's the Superb Owl. Did you know that? Take Super Bowl, it becomes Superb Owl. Just move the
Imagine that.
So what if this was their like halftime event where God comes down and those people came back to life and they all got to rock with him, and he's like, okay, we got to go because there's a bunch of people here that don't know what the fuck's going on, and we got to do this one more time for them. So they all left, and that's when we went, damn, we missed the train.
Yeah, and Anne here says, Son of Man, did it always say that sounds wrong? I remember Son of God. I always felt that it sounded wrong. I don't know if if it was another way or not, but coming of the Son of Man, he's not the Son of Man, he's the Son of God. It was an immaculate conception. And this immaculate conception means that, you know, she was, you know, impregnated by the Holy Spirit, you might say, or however they put it. So yeah, it's the Son of God, not the Son of Man. I don't know why they refer to it like that, or if it was always like that, but it doesn't ring true to me as far as the way it sounds. It sounds better if you say the Son of God.
Yeah, agreed.
the Apostle Paul wrote, "For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first." And in Revelation chapter 20, the Apostle John prophesied that he saw thrones, and they sat on them, and the ability to judge was given to them. Then he saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for their witness to Jesus and for the word of God, who had not worshipped the beast or his image, and had not received his mark on their foreheads or their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years.
And again, you can make a revelation that happened, because look at all the people that got beheaded, you know, and they made all the saints that got beheaded. That happened.
And they were really into beheading, say, like in Queen Elizabeth's time and stuff like that. Queen Elizabeth I and all. People were always getting beheaded. This is probably the times that they're talking about.
And now you got, you know, they talk about it. Well, they're bringing in guillotines. Well, again, that's just nonsense. Maybe trying to scare people, trying to recreate what already happened. We don't know if they're going to do that again, but it did happen already once. You know,
absolutely,
right there,
absolutely.
And trumpets, they're trying to again artificially make it sound like Revelation is happening. Trumpets. trumpets. And then you got, was it Need Input did the thing where the buses that brought in the first cases of the Kernani, they were it was the horseman buses, and there was 4 of them. So it's like everyone's just grabbing at straws because they're making all these signs look like it's happening, and it's all artificial, right, Steve? You talked about that. None of it's natural. It's all weird, artificially done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jesus said, "For when they rise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven." And in 1 Corinthians, the Apostle Paul wrote, "For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed." Going forward, we have a new classification of beings who were once mortal humans like us, but have now received a new, eternal body that makes them like angels. This new body is often referred to as the glorified body. These people are often, but not always, depicted with a halo around their head. They will fulfill particular roles and duties in Christ's kingdom for the next 1,000 years. They are generally referred to as saints. I'll be making a more detailed video about this subject very soon.
Oops.
What unfolds is what we think of as our history, minus a bunch of stuff that has either been grossly misrepresented or just never happened at all. From the start, everyone goes to work creating a new civilization, presumably amongst the aftermath of the Great Tribulation. We see an explosion of creative energy in every area of life. What immediately emerges is a society dominated by Christian ethics and virtues. The people spend their days laboring in some way for God's kingdom. The people in their mortal bodies will now live longer lifespans and bear children as normal. The new people born into the kingdom now have the choice to accept or reject Christ. While it was the golden age of human history, it was in no way perfect, as mortal mankind in its fallen state still struggled with the problem of sin. It does appear that there were conflicts along the way, the true nature of which is unclear. We can see the rapid progress of the millennial kingdom through the general art and architecture. The kingdom ended with what are the greatest achievements during what we call the Industrial Revolution.
Oh, let's pause
the
that.
millennial kingdom stretched out across the entire.
I love where you see the Paris thing there all lit up, the Eiffel Tower. I think, because it's a free energy tower, that's what it looks like. I think a lot of these places, they're using free energy and they're not telling people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You should see what they have for an electric plant down here in Springfield.
Wow.
It's interesting. It's right on the waterfront, right next to that big bridge I was showing you a couple weeks ago, where the ritual was happening in midday.
Oh, so creepy, dude. We gotta look at that again one day because that was really nuts.
I know. I gotta. It was a Tuesday, so tomorrow's a Tuesday. I might see if they're down there again. And I just hit the speed up on this because I actually really gotta get going like pretty soon. So I'm trying to cram this in. She is talking rather slow, so it does work out for the benefit there. Let me see what this sounds like. I could slow it down a little more.
For Earth, and that includes the founding of America.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was going to be Mickey Mouse.
America from sea to shining sea. With Jesus Christ as a literal king on Earth.
Is that a decent playback speed real quick?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Earth, the people who got their glorified bodies ruled alongside of him as they occupied the higher offices of his government and fulfilled various other roles. These people in their glorified bodies have much higher capabilities than we do in our natural bodies, appearing to be able to interact with the physical and spiritual realms simultaneously. I believe that it is because of their hand in things that we see incredible accomplishments across the board that have never been truly replicated since. If you've been researching Tartaria and seeing everything in our past in a brand new light, then all of this should make sense. I simply refer to parts of this epoch as early, middle, and late kingdom. This is a span of just 1,000 years and not 2,000 like we have been taught. So if you couldn't already guess, this isn't the period that we live in. Now we get to the part of the timeline that includes our modern world. When the 1,000 years end, Jesus and the saints go back up to heaven. To my current knowledge, the Bible doesn't actually mention anything about where they go, but I assume it's back up to heaven based on the state of the world we live in now. What it does mention is that Satan is loosed from his prison for a short period of time. The Bible does not tell us exactly how many years this period will last, only that it is a short time. Again in Revelation chapter 20, John wrote that an angel cast Satan into the bottomless pit and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. What happens next is the strangest and most perplexing part of all of this, which is the second resurrection. To my knowledge, there is only one Bible verse that mentions the second resurrection, calling those who take part in it simply the rest of the dead. And again in Revelation chapter 20 it states, "But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished." And it's important to understand the context of this part, since the next line can be confusing. Now, if I had entertained the preterist view of the Bible before knowing anything about Tartaria, I would not know how to work the idea of a second resurrection into my worldview. This event will have to be in our past, and nowhere in our history books does it say that a large group of people came back to life one day. If we still believe the history that we've been given, there would be no way to realistically incorporate this idea into the preterist narrative. However, after examining the multitude of anomalies in our past, I believe a connection can be made between this part of the Bible and what has already been deemed the reset. Thanks to everyone who has researched in the area of alternative history, a sizable amount of data has been collected that seems to indicate that a large group of people were inserted out of nowhere into a glorious pre-existing civilization. This seems to have happened around 1800 our time, give or take up to 50 years. A more precise time frame has not yet been narrowed down. Many videos have been made, while others out there have quietly spent many hours dissecting the earliest video and photographic evidence that is available. The general consensus is that there was something very peculiar going on at this time, and that the people generally seem like they don't quite belong amidst their surroundings. We have found photographs and footage that appear to be faked or staged. Suddenly, there is a multitude of displaced orphans of mysterious origins.
There it is. That's the picture he had in his hand.
We have learned about the creepy infantoriums, where one could adopt a living infant from the amusement park.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. And that's the nail in the coffin for me, man. That's
records with a new mindset. It seems that a new group of people were inserted out of nowhere. At times,
Oh, you like that? No, look at that. No, no towels, no swimsuits.
There's a channel I used to watch a lot, Barnabas, and I found him because he had a video, and it literally, I think, was called "No Fucking Beach Towels." And he goes for like 20 minutes, all these photos, not a single person in these beautiful outfits. There's not a towel in sight, and women are laying in their beautiful dresses, just sitting on the sand. No, that wouldn't have happened. These people were dumped here, didn't know what the hell was going on. So they made the best of it until they were carted off wherever they were going. Yeah, there's no towels.
100%.
These new people appear to be picking up where a previous group left off. Without having most of the general knowledge I'm conveying in this video, we had already
I don't know.
observed some type of reset in civilization that had been completely hidden from us. And we deemed these people as the new arrivals.
We were just attacked. That's right. About 4 a.m., the printing press of our Hong Kong edition was visited by
the reset people.
Gotta find out what happened with that guy.
In addition to the anomalies in the people themselves, this period is also characterized by a miscellany of destructive events such as wars, fires, flooding, and so-called earthquakes. We had already suspected that a transfer of power took place, going from good to evil. Based on scriptural, historical, and physical evidence, I believe that the Messianic reign ended, Satan was loosed from his prison, and the second resurrection all happened around the year 1800 our time, give or take up to 50 years.
Yep.
On a side note, there will be a part 2 of this video where I'll go over how I think the keeping of time truly works. So if you're confused about the discrepancies, to explain that in part 2.
Like, what caused that destruction all over the world?
Major biblical event.
Just mayhem everywhere.
How kicked over a lamp in Frisco, right?
Right.
Left to occur on this earth as we know it is what is described as a final battle that God does not allow to fully escalate. This event is immediately followed by final judgment, which could be considered a third and final resurrection. I think we can safely say that these events have not happened yet, making these some of the only prophecies yet to be fulfilled. And in Revelation chapter 20, John wrote that when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle.
What's that?
We're being deceived right now.
The number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city. And fire came down from God out of heaven, and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. It seems like the people of earth will be assembled for this great battle, and a particular nation will be invaded. But just before the war truly breaks out, God will step in before all hell breaks loose. This is the final moment and concludes the great saga of the battle between good and evil on earth. What exactly is meant by Gog and Magog, or what is the camp of the saints and the beloved city, is up for interpretation. Now everyone who ever lived will be gathered for final judgment. Those who accepted Christ will be given their glorified bodies and become saints on God's new earth. Those who rejected him will be cast into the lake of fire. Now that everyone has been sorted out once again, God will recreate the earth and the heavens. God will then bring the glorious city that he has already built in heaven down to earth. God will then rule from the city right here on earth with us. Humanity will be fully restored from its fallen state, and there will no longer be any death or sin. With our new bodies, it appears that we will be given the unique quality of being granted access to both the spiritual and physical realms simultaneously. The earth will belong to us once again, and yes, we will live happily ever after. You can read a more detailed description of the new earth in Revelation chapter 21. All in all, we have been tricked into thinking that we were generally back here on the timeline, at the tribulation and before the millennial kingdom. In fact, just 6 months ago, I was sure that the tribulation had begun. Satan didn't want us to know about the millennial kingdom because all of this information corroborates the Bible in a very powerful way, and there's so much more. I now believe that in reality, we actually live way up here on the timeline. I base this off of several things. The millennial kingdom seems to have ended no later than 1850. That means this event happened about 170 years ago, at the very least. In Revelation, it states that at the end of the millennial kingdom, the devil will be loosed for a little season. In some translations, it is a little while or a short time. So what could constitute a little season? If the millennial kingdom was 1,000 years, and that is considered a decent chunk of time, what would constitute a little season?
All right, that's pretty much it for content in this video. But yeah, how long is that's the greatest question at the end of
She has 4 videos up right now, and they're all each of them I find fascinating. So
yes,
we're gonna have to check those out. Check those out. But that being said, you guys have any final thoughts real quick that you want to get out of here?
Well, just know that that if you know who God is, he knows who you are, and don't stress over this stuff. It could get real dicey, but we make it out as long as he's got your back. I mean, if we are in, let's say, something like a video game, you don't try to beat the main boss in the game. You go talk to the programmer, and he deletes the boss, the big daddy, and that's it. So let's just keep your faith in God. Let him know you're there, and he'll know you're there, and that's it. So that's my thoughts. Love you all. Thanks for letting me be here.
Sure.
Love this chat.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Jen, what do you got real quick?
Just ditto. I agree with everything Ceiling Fan Man just said, and I won't keep you. I know you have to go, and it was great sitting in with you guys, and we might be doing something tomorrow, Steve. I'm just letting you know now.
Okay.
And Brian is going to be on Airborne Saint in the morning tomorrow, and then I'm going to be there on Wednesday. So.
Nice.
Cool. And I might get back on later, so I'll give you guys a shout. We got 121 here now, so that's pretty lit, and hopefully we can get everyone back later. I might do something else later, because we didn't get into any of the text, and that's 2 or 3 hours on its own, so we might just do that later, guys, honestly. But I got to get out of here. It was great having you guys here. It was awesome. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ceiling Fan Man, True Seeker 69, and me, Steve JMO. That's about all we got for now. Be strong, be smart, be safe, have guidance in the spirit. That's about it, guys.